one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. Instead of just doing this entire broadcast myself, I have to bring in one of my good friends, the other caster that's going to be bringing you all the action today. Welcome in, Katie Bedford.
Discard, you can get a discard all on top of that for the green, which it looks so good for Lily. You can stack that discard, but hey, it's Flota saying the game is discard alls.
Goes for the challenge, though. The perfect time for the challenge. Yes, Neo had a green. Yes, they were forced to play it, and because of that, Joey wins. 20 seconds left, Katie. We can see who's in first and second according to points, and we've got another play, and that's going to give the win to Laura. Laura is your Uno Mobile February Community Cup champion.
Well, I want to thank my longtime Uno friends and the Discord community, moderator and lead everything, Mr. Neil. Love him to death, and I just love everybody in all the communities. We have the Facebook, the Discord, our clubs within the game. It's great. It's really fun, and I'm the champ.
Uno!
Welcome to Uno Mobile Wild Talk. Today, I want to bring you a sneak peek of a big update coming up soon at the end of March. As always, we'll be announcing a new gift code during the show, so keep watching so you won't miss your chance to get free prizes. We are so excited to announce the brand new Uno Mobile Fun Pack. Later this month, on the next update, you'll be able to find it right on the main menu. Once in the Fun Pack, the menus have a brand new design. Tell us what you think about them. Here, you can invite friends into your party and stay together as you move between game modes. Want to move from a ×2 multiplier to a ×8 one? No problem, your friends will come with you. The Fun Pack has 2 great ways to play Uno Mobile. The first is Open Draft, a fan favorite mode. This is where you can choose the cards in your starting hand at the beginning of the game, adding another layer of depth to the strategy. The next one is brand new, never been seen before in Uno Mobile. It's side-to-side mode. It's like 2v2 mode in Go Wild, except your teammate is beside you instead of across from you. We expect all kinds of new strategies to come into Uno Mobile from this, and we can't wait to see what you guys come up with. The way coins are rewarded in the Fun Pack is also a little different. You qualify for higher multipliers by having enough coins, as usual. But the multiplier you choose is now just your maximum multiplier. The actual multiplier applied at the end of the game depends on the new point cap score. The point cap is the difference between the points left in your hand and your opponent's hand at the end of the game. A bigger point cap means a bigger multiplier. So make sure you play those wild cards before the game ends. You don't want to have a high score. In the Fun Pack, you can win up to the number of coins that you started with. The Fun Pack is the same competitive challenge to collect as many coins as you can, but now you can do it with side-to-side mode and the Open Draft anytime you like. Community Cup tournaments are now being held every month. Each month has its own $5,000 prize pool and in-game prizes waiting for you to win. The top 2 players today, and in each monthly final, will advance to the annual finals in November to compete for even more cash prizes. Players in the US and Canada can get in on this unpredictable fun and play their way to being an esports star. Today is not only the grand finals of the March tournament, it is also St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, especially our Irish viewers. And on that note, I think now it's time to announce a new code. The gift code today is 4-leaf clover in all capital letters. Go redeem it under Settings, Gift Code in Uno Mobile and get your rewards now.
Uno!
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Really excited to bring back a good friend of mine, Pancake Pal, on the mic again.
Whoa! And it's a green card. It's full Shamrock luck.
A huge save from Jess, but now a chance to get back to green. Wow! Isabella gets the win. Everybody having to draw, and everybody moving quick here, pal. We're starting to swing around this board as fast as possible.
Corusima in a great position, and there you have it. Corusima with the win.
Damn. Corusima, no matter what you do here, it is a win for Destiny, because Destiny, with the lucky boot, saves the +4 till the end, and Destiny, Adam, is your winner of the March Finals.
I am so excited and still shaking. I want to shout out my husband and my 3 kids. They see me play Uno every single day. I'm addicted to it, and they were watching it the whole time, rooting me on. I just want to say thank you to the Uno company in general for allowing me to do this. I just still cannot believe it. I have no words.
Uno! Skip. Blue. Uno!
Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. Really excited to bring back a good friend of mine, Pancake Pal, on the mic again.
Whoa! And it's a green card. It's full Shamrock luck.
A huge save from Jess, but now changing it back to green. Wow! Isabella gets the win. Everybody having to draw and everybody moving quick here, pal. We're starting to swing around this board as fast as possible.
Corsima in a great position, and there you have it. Corsima with the win.
Damn. Corsima, no matter what you do here, it is a win for Destiny because Destiny, with the lucky boot, saves the +4 till the end, and Destiny, Adam, is your winner of the March finals.
I am so excited and still shaking. I want to shout out my husband and my 3 kids. They see me play Uno every single day. I'm addicted to it, and they were watching it the whole time, rooting me on. I just want to say thank you to the Uno company in general for allowing me to do this. I just still cannot believe it. I have no words.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. Instead of just doing this entire broadcast myself, I have to bring in one of my good friends, the other caster that's going to be bringing you all the action today. Welcome in, Katie Bedford.
Discard, you can get a discard all on top of that for the green, which it looks so good for Lily. You can stack that discard, but hey, it's Flota saying the game is discard alls.
Goes for the challenge, though. The perfect time for the challenge. Yes, Neo had a green. Yes, they were forced to play it. And because of that, Joey wins. 20 seconds left, Katie. We can see who's in first and second according to points, and we've got another play, and that's going to give the win to Laura. Laura is your Uno Mobile February Community Cup champion.
Well, I want to thank my longtime Uno friends and the Discord community, moderator and lead everything, Mr. Neil. Love him to death, and I just love everybody in all the communities. We have the Facebook, the Discord, our clubs within the game. It's great. It's really fun, and I'm the champ.
Uno!
Welcome to Uno Mobile Wild Talk. Today, I want to bring you a sneak peek of a big update coming up soon at the end of March. As always, we'll be announcing a new gift code during the show, so keep watching so you won't miss your chance to get free prizes. We are so excited to announce the brand new Uno Mobile Fun Pack. Later this month, on the next update, you'll be able to find it right on the main menu. Once in the Fun Pack, the menus have a brand new design. Tell us what you think about them. Here, you can invite friends into your party and stay together as you move between game modes. Want to move from a ×2 multiplier to a ×8 one? No problem, your friends will come with you. The Fun Pack has 2 great ways to play Uno Mobile. The first is Open Draft, a fan favorite mode. This is where you can choose the cards in your starting hand at the beginning of the game, adding another layer of depth to the strategy. The next one is brand new, never been seen before in Uno Mobile. It's side-to-side mode. It's like 2v2 mode in Go Wild, except your teammate is beside you instead of across from you. We expect all kinds of new strategies to come into Uno Mobile from this, and we can't wait to see what you guys come up with. The way coins are rewarded in the Fun Pack is also a little different. You qualify for higher multipliers by having enough coins, as usual. But the multiplier you choose is now just your maximum multiplier. The actual multiplier applied at the end of the game depends on the new point cap score. The point cap is the difference between the points left in your hand and your opponent's hand at the end of the game. A bigger point cap means a bigger multiplier. So make sure you play those wild cards before the game ends. You don't want to have a high score. In the Fun Pack, you can win up to the number of coins that you started with. The fun pack is the same competitive challenge to collect as many coins as you can, but now you can do it with side-to-side mode and the open draft anytime you like. Community Cup tournaments are now being held every month. Each month has its own $5,000 prize pool and in-game prizes waiting for you to win. The top 2 players today, and in each monthly final, will advance to the annual finals in November to compete for even more cash prizes. Players in the US and Canada can get in on this unpredictable fun and play their way to being an esports star. Today is not only the grand finals of the March tournament, it is also St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, especially our Irish viewers. And on that note, I think now it's time to announce a new code. The gift code today is 4-leaf clover in all capital letters. Go redeem it under Settings, Gift Code in Uno Mobile and get your rewards now.
Uno!
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Really excited to bring back a good friend of mine, Pancake Pal, on the mic again.
Whoa! And it's a green card. It's full Shamrock luck.
A huge save from Jess, but now a chance to get back to green.
Wow!
Isabella gets the win. Everybody having to draw, and everybody moving quick here, pal. We're starting to swing around this board as fast as possible.
Corusima in a great position, and there you have it. Corusima with the win.
Corusima, no matter what you do here, it is a win for Destiny, because Destiny, with the lucky boot, saves the +4 till the end, and Destiny, Adam, is your winner of the March finals.
I am so excited and still shaking. I want to shout out my husband and my 3 kids. They see me play Uno every single day. I'm addicted to it, and they were watching it the whole time, rooting me on. I just want to say thank you to the Uno company in general for allowing me to do this. I just still cannot believe it. I have no words.
Uno! Skip. Blue. Uno!
Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck and may the best player win. Really excited to bring back a good friend of mine, Pancake Pal, on the mic again.
Whoa! And it's a green card. It's full Shamrock luck.
A huge save from Jess, but now a chance to get back to green.
Wow!
Isabella gets the win. Everybody having to draw and everybody moving quick here, pal. We're starting to swing around this board as fast as possible.
Corusima in a great position, and there you have it. Corusima with the win.
Corusima, no matter what you do here, it is a win for Destiny, because Destiny, with the lucky boot, saves the +4 till the end, and Destiny, Adam, is your winner of the March finals.
I am so excited and still shaking. I want to shout out my husband and my 3 kids. They see me play Uno every single day. I'm addicted to it, and they were watching it the whole time, rooting me on. I just want to say thank you to the Uno company in general for allowing me to do this. I just still cannot believe it. I have no words.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck and may the best player win. You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game, and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Unbelievable. Listen to the celebration. I don't even know what I just did, but I did it!
No way, dude.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Gojj, and I couldn't be more excited to be back with the April monthly finals. This is the Community Cup, and we've seen some incredible qualifiers making it all the way to the finale today. Folks at home, if you don't know what we're doing, where we are, or why we're here, this is Uno Mobile, and you need to go get involved with Uno Mobile right now, because we've had qualifiers up to this point, and if you want a chance to compete in these monthly finals, you gotta have the game. So go download it right now on iOS or Android. Android, Google Play stores, and make sure you go follow Uno Mobile on all their major socials. They're the reason we're here. And folks, look, today is going to be so much fun, and I'm so excited to be back. I think this is our third or fourth now show that we've done on broadcast, and today we're actually live on several different channels across the board, as per the usual. But for the very first time, we are live on Twitch. So if anybody's over there on the Twitch channel, say hello for me. Look, you all are going to be winning today as well. You know this. You've been waiting for it. I see everybody in the chat talking about it. It's time for a giveaway already. Let's go ahead and throw a giveaway up to you all at home. Get some diamonds, get some coins. Make sure you grab some shields. Let's go ahead and start it off. The first code is join live for fun, because you joined us live here for fun on all of the live stream channels. Head down to that gear icon, click redeem, and type in join live for fun. First code. I see all of you asking for it. We got plenty more coming today, so hang out in the broadcast with us and you'll get a lot more codes. And folks, by the way, there's some amazing things going on in the store. You saw my bunny ears, those wild ears collection we'll talk about in a second, but this is kind of the final straw, the last chance to get the Lily Pichu voice pack and emoji collection as well. So take a look at it. Lily Pichu had a chance to participate in our All-Stars event last summer, and she created this Lily Pichu emoji and voice pack, and of course that avatar frame. She actually drew all of those herself, and her voice is one of my favorites. So if you want a chance to have her kind of talk over your gameplay, the winner of the All-Stars, go check it out in the store right now. It's about to be taken out, so you're not going to want to miss it. And yes, I am wearing these bunny ears because the Wild Ears collection is something that we've been celebrating all of May. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, do so as well. But look, I've got some amazing people I need to introduce. First, there's somebody named Gojj. You might know me. There's another person named Gojj we're going to hear from to hear a bit more about what's happening for the rest of the year. Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Incredible voice, incredible person. Thanks for breaking that down for me, Gojj. I gotta send it over to another Gojj to talk a little bit more about what's gonna happen today, though, because we're gonna be seeing these competitions all year, but today, is there anything different? The same old, same old. Let's check it out. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. Well, triple the Gojj, triple the fun is what I say, but I couldn't do it all myself today. You've heard all the different rules, everything that we have played for this year. So before we go any further, I got to bring in a good friend of mine, Katie Bedford, back in the booth. Katie, so excited to have you back, and thanks for joining me to celebrate the Wild Ears collection.
Of course, of course. Look, I've got some wild ears of my own, but Gojj, yours are looking a little sad. We're going to have to work those up through the rest of the action today for the April Cup.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get into it. Mine are not sad. I'm just trying to keep them in frame because they're so beautiful. But Katie, you know, I had a chance to cast with you in the past. We've seen several of these events at this point. This is our April monthly finals. And before we go anywhere, what you and I talked about a little bit before is that we love when chat interacts. So chat, I need you all to start typing in your predictions of who you think is going to win this thing. And we're going to warm you up. Get those typing fingers ready because we've got some trivia that Katie and I are going to take you through. So let's go ahead and roll that trivia. and you got to type in A, B, C, or D, depending on what answer you think is the correct one. So here's the first question. Which game mode is included in the Uno Fun Pack? A, Classic Mode, B, Uno Contest, C, Go Wild, or D, Side to Side? Type in your answers right now, and well, if you typed in B, you're wrong. 3 more, not C. Is it Classic Mode or Side to Side? It is Side to Side. There it is. The answer was D. If you didn't get a chance to type it in, you missed out. Get ready for the next one, because not only will we be doing more trivia, we've also have more giveaway codes coming down the line, Katie. Look, I had a chance to talk about some of the rules and stuff, Katie, but I want to talk about them with you and really break down in detail what's going to be happening today for everybody at home, because there's a good chance some people are tuning in for the very first time on all of our different social medias that are live right now. And so take me through the rules a little bit, and let's talk about what's going to be happening today.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring that up. There's 2 very crucial rules, which is the stack and discard all we'll get into, but it's the first to 3 wins. So you're going to have those 4 groups, each with 4 players in them. They're going to battle it out to the first person is able to get 3 wins. But it's not just first place in each group that moves on, Gojj. It's also second place as well. On top of that, these are the rules I mentioned that are so very pivotal. Having discard all and stack as an option. You can stack +4 wild on top of a +2. Not only that, the discard all, we know how powerful it can be. It has won people these community cups before, and I'm sure it'll win people some rounds today.
Fantastic breakdown, Katie. So if you tuned in during our February or our March monthly finals, or even back during our debut in December, not only are you going to recognize some of these rules, but Katie, they might recognize some of the players as well. Let's take a look at the bracket and talk about some of the new names and some old names that people at home might recognize. First, Katie, give me some names that kind of stand out to you off the rip. Group A, B, C, or D? Which one's looking the strongest?
Look, Group D, I liked them when I saw them before we went live. They don't need the fancy names. They don't need all the lights and the sparkles. They got Kelly, Corey, Elizabeth, and Angela. Look, if you're confident enough to just be Kelly here all the way in the Community Cup getting this far, then I think you're going to be able to throw down.
No, absolutely. Group C as well. One I want to shout out, Apple is back, and this was Neo on a different name at the very least. Apple got 3rd in our February event, and then we look up at Group A. You all that maybe watched last month might recognize Kurosiyama, who participated in our March monthly finals and got 4th. So, hey, shout out to Kurosiyama, made it back into our grand finale here in April and trying to better themselves and potentially even win this time around so they can make that November yearly finals. And then we can't not talk about Chris in Group B sneaking into the competition, kind of one of the last spots. If you all remember, Chris actually won our debut event back in December. Now, didn't earn a place in our November yearly finals because it wasn't the beginning of this year's esports. It was back in December to kind of showcase the format. So now Chris is trying to win again to make sure he books that ticket to the November finals. So a lot of fun to talk about some returning names. And Katie, this is really what Uno Mobile Esports is all about, right? It's like seeing these kind of continued old names that are coming back and saying, no, I am really good at this game and I will make it to the finals every time when I can. And then also some of those new names. Who knows? Some of the names we didn't shout out could surprise us today and could potentially win it all.
Well, I think that's a great point, is that there's this unknown factor to a lot of these players that, they're skilled enough to get to this point, but can they be those upset factors for some of the names we're a little more familiar with, the people who have made it into a grand final already, that have the stuff they need to get it done. But, well, this is where you got to do it right now, Gojj, because we're jumping right into the action, and there's stacking happening off a ripping alley. That is a tough way to start.
Yeah, so folks, again, it's a stack, discard all, and everybody's playing solos, and it's the first player to 3 win. So cards flying, and a really good start for Kurosiyama. Speaking of, already down to 3 cards, 2 of which are wilds. And we talk strategy all the time, Katie. +4s, really strong if you can hold on to them. But you have to hold on to them, and it's difficult to do that when people are stacking.
Yeah, it can get really tricky, but if you stay here, I don't think it's obviously going to stay on yellow there. It's going to go down to the red, but you do have the option to play the +4. I'm not sure if you want to just yet. Nice. You get a red lucky draw, and, well, still in an excellent position if it somehow can get back to a yellow.
Yeah, and this is going to be a patience game. If I'm Coruscant, I think I draw. No? Look, hey, Coruscant made it into the final round and got 4th overall. I can't question their tactics, but burns the wild early. Let's see if Snafu will do the same. Not a +4 to Snafu. The cards were already drawn, yet they go for it. Halfway through this round, Katie, no wilds on the board. Interesting challenge. I don't
does
hate
not
it.
work out.
To be honest, Allie's fishing for a discard all. That would be ideal. We haven't seen one yet. Another wild for Kurosima.
These are very nice
Okay.
draws. They're actually working out extremely well to keep them in that Uno position. But a skip says not today. Thank you. We will be skipping both players who are on Uno, and take some cards with you while you're at it.
I love the skip, +2/+2. They are not letting these top 2 players end it right now. Still 60 seconds on the board.
60 seconds on the board. We get a reverse. Might be a reverse again. That's exactly what we see. Does the +4 get played? No, a draw instead. And well, Allie just saying, I'm sorry, you don't get to play right now at all, Gojj. You just get to sit there with your nice reverse and your 4.
Yeah, now under 60 seconds, we get a chance to see where the medals are. So now the players will know what potentially some of the other players have. There's point totals per card. Of course, your action cards are more points, which you don't want. So Kurosima is in second with 2 and dropping a card, throws the reverse. You can tell Kate still has a lower number card. So Kurosima at the very least knows, no, it doesn't matter.
The discard all.
It stays red. Snafu drops the discard all. One of the first we saw on the board.
What did I tell you, Gojj? What did I tell you?
You said it. You said it. Discard alls will win you the games before you're even paying attention. Folks, that's how fast it moves in Uno Mobile. Nice win by Snafu. So 1 win on the board. Pretty hefty one, too, because Allie had a sizable amount of cards in their hand.
Yeah, and that's a big part of this, too, right? Those points. Yes, you get the Uno win, which is most important. You want to get those 3 to be able to move on. But with all of those cards, it gives you that buffer if you ever get into that kind of second, third place tiebreaker situation. You get all those cards from other players because you get a decisive win. Well, that's only extra bolstering of that first place.
Yeah, totally agree. Let's see what Snafu is able to do this time around. We're keeping our kind of perspective here on Snafu since they won the last round.
These are still nice cards, though. I mean, look at the top. So many +2s. We have wilds available. These are nice. A discard all on top of that. I'm not sure if you're going to want to couple it with the +2, but I'd say Kate, maybe in a bit trickier of a position. Kind of a tough amount of cards. Does get at least that wild to work with, but decides to use it right away.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at Kurosima to win this if no one forces their action cards early. But what we know about Andy is that potentially Kurosima might throw down that wild maybe a bit too early. But again, skipping and the top deck luck right now from Kurosima, continuing to throw down cards. An opportunity for a big stack here.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, Kate. Oh, no, Kate.
I know, and I think Kurosima's going to add to it. You don't want to have to draw 6, so that's +10 to
no.
Kate. That's tough.
Well, Kate, hey, we've seen crazier comebacks. You can see a discard all at the top there, so maybe something crazy can happen, but that's got to sting.
Reverse is going to keep it away from Andy for now, but there's... Oh, how about the triple reverse? I love it. Great way to burn cards back and forth. Keeps it away from Kurosima still.
That's really been the name of the game, is keeping it away from Kurosima. But the discard all does come out on top of the Uno, and somehow if we get a +2, maybe we get something like a red. We will see that win.
Yellow.
Oh, no, they don't know.
Unless you give it to Allie.
Oh, no. They threw the yellow
Snafu,
down.
You gave it. Oh. You know what? I actually think that was very kind, Gojj. Snafu said, I won the first game, but you know what, Allie? Here you go. My present to you.
It wasn't on purpose. Snafu had the yellow card. They were trying to set themselves up, but that is the name of the game. If you don't know the color, the person next to you, what color they have in their hand, it's kind of a wild guess, and you might as well set yourself up for success unless you can read into those cards a little bit, especially if you see them continuing to drop down yellows. Do they have more? Are they running out? Like, there's a lot of things that can be crossing these players' minds, and we've seen some people throw some bluffs down of, I've got 3 cards. One of my cards is yellow. I'm changing the color to red just to throw people off my scent. So keep an eye out for that too. I think some of our high-level players here will bluff try to play some mind games.
Yeah, and Snafu, again, some nice starting. Goes for the +4 immediately. Takes it to yellow. And, well, Allie will stack on top of it. But we're going to have multiple +4s. We might get up to +16, Gojj. Or in a +18. Oh, Gojj. Oh, no. Oh, this is about to be disastrous for Kate the Great.
Yes, Kate cannot catch a break. I mean, that...
Liam, you're picking on him.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. We've got discard all engaged, okay? With a couple nice draws of some discard alls, you can get rid of like half of your hand. Very unlucky start. It did burn everyone else's +4s, though, and Kate wasn't lucky enough to get any herself.
No, and wow, you look at that as well. If there's a discard all, I think, on the left side of the board, could end it quickly. But there you go. That's why that discard all is so important. Because, yes, maybe you get a +18. Go. Draw was back in it unless Snafu goes for the Uno one more time.
Again, it is the first player to 3 wins, so no one's on match point yet. But Kate cannot catch a break. Continues to draw. No one's on Uno yet. About to see it here from Allie. This could be Allie's second. Snafu will follow.
Yeah, 2 Unos back to back. And look at that.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not careful, these discard alls are going to bring you right back into the game. Kate can go down to get a nice draw to red.
These draws have all been incredible, Gojj.
Yeah, this has been great luck, but Allie also has a red and nothing can change. Allie with her second victory. Very well done.
I feel like Allie just keeps coming out of left field. Allie's this quiet force right now in this Group A matchup that we keep seeing Snafu making these plays. We keep seeing these really great decks across the board from all these players, their initial hands they get. And then Allie, somehow, some way, able to get that win. Very, very well done, which does put our first player at that match point to potentially get that 3 and move them on to the next group.
That's a great point. Allie is on match point. So we're taking a look. It's already an early +6. You can see now stacked to Katie.
Oh no!
Already,
oh no!
Immediately, we're gonna be looking at a +14. This time to Coruscant. This is the way it started several times.
This is a very
everybody
aggressive
just
group.
Burns it. Very aggressive.
Yeah, oftentimes, you don't want to hold on to it for too long because when you get to the very end, it is a lot of points, so you want to get rid of it. But you don't see people using those +4s this early all the time. And, well, this group, hyper aggressive and out to take the win, but we'll swing over to yellow. Kate, see if they can make something happen. Decent amount of cards. Unfortunately, though, not wilds or anything too impactful to be able to work with.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like all it takes is one player to burn their +4, and then everybody else is going to have to follow if they have one, or they're going to draw a crazy amount of cards. So Kate actually is going to elect to go ahead and play it, maybe hoping to burn somebody else's wild if they have it. Nope, Coruscant is just in some trouble over there.
I think Kate is happy to not be on the receiving end at this point of getting those massive stacks. But, well, we'll be able to get a skip to Snafu, but no one in necessarily that excellent position yet. You do get a discard all from Allie, which is nice, but a lot of these players, they don't have that decisive ending card to work with. But discard alls, we know how powerful they are. Look at the reds as well. So this could get real spicy.
Look at Kate. Kate goes down to Uno with one throw of a card because she drew yellow discard all. You will see a response here from Coruscant, probably to red. Now Allie goes to Uno. It's going to come down to numbers game. And Uno, a duo with a wild. Not a great draw from Kate. Coruscant could change it here. If they don't, it's over, and they do to yellow. Coruscant wins this without anybody doing anything about it. Coruscant on the board.
No.
Throwing it to red, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Save that wild.
Coach, this is two wins that Snafu has sent to someone. Been like, here you go, Allie. Here you go, Coruscant. Like, just take these wins. Get on the board. Let's make this competitive. But you got to be feeling it. You get the skip to the win. That's tough, Snafu. We got to get the recovery. But a really nice win. Great job with that final wild to be able to guarantee that win.
Yeah, okay, so now we have 3 different players that have won, Katie, and we're going to swap over to Coruscant's perspective because they just won. But Allie is the only one with 2 wins currently. So if Allie wins this, it will be a tiebreaker between Snafu and Korosima. However, if any of the other players win, we play another round. So we'll keep you all updated on that. You can see our rules down below. It is that first player to 3 wins, automatically moving on, and it's the next player with the highest win count. Of course, if there's a tie, we'll talk about those tiebreakers, but a couple wilds. Actually, every player having a wild. Kate, the only +4.
Yeah, Kate, actually with a decent amount of cards to utilize, unless you get skipped. Snafu saying no, not again. But we'll swing over to Green and Allie if you can keep it there.
Yeah, you like that.
Yeah, unless you don't get a reverse. There you go. Uno for Allie. 1 card away. Being our first to get 3 wins on the day.
Ooh. I got scared there for a second. The Korosima might throw the yellow 1 down. It was going to be all over, but no. Hope stays alive, and Kate goes to Uno as well, but goes to Green.
Draw 4.
We'll take it from Allie. We'll be able to get rid of that 1, but you gotta change it off of and does it. Oh, it takes it to a red. Whew, but the double on, and Allie hands it right to Allie. Everyone's handing it right to Allie. Gojj. Allie, all these players lining this up on a silver platter for Allie to take it away. I got worried there at first when the color change didn't come in, but then it worked out for Allie, and wow, 1, 2, 3. A couple other wins coming in from other players in Group A, but Allie really was able to take it away.
Allie played fantastic. I mean, honestly, things went their way. Like, they definitely set themselves up for success, and some little bit of randomness, a little bit of RNG worked in their favor, but Allie always had a chance to win, and it was just a card or 2 away, or was actually grabbing this victory. So let's take a look back at what I mean by that, and look back on our games today that we've seen in Group A. We're going to do some calculations to see who moves on with Allie to the next round. It's either going to be Snafu or Korosima, depending on who had the most decisive victory. But this is what I'm talking about. Besides this first round, where Snafu dominated the competition and Allie had a ton of cards, every other win that Allie had, decisive. 1, 2, 3, throwing down those cards and grabbing a couple victories. 3 wins and nobody else having 2. A fantastic feat.
Oh, fantastic. And look, sometimes it just all works out perfectly for you. Maybe you don't necessarily have the best cards, but someone does a skip, someone does a reverse, someone changes to the color you need, and Allie every time. It was all working in their favor. And well, we saw the results of that. So congratulations to Allie on moving on. But keep in mind, it's 2 players from each group who will be moving on to our semifinals. So we'll have to calculate everything, see what happens, who's moving on with Allie. But a very good win and fast too, Gojj. This was such an aggressive, snappy group.
Oh, well, here it is. Oh, wow. Only by a 54-point margin. Crazy. Allie, of course, dominated the competition, grabbed 3 wins, and is moving on to the semifinals. But Snafu beats Korosima by a small margin because they had the same amount of wins. Snafu will be moving forward with just a slightly better win under their belt. So you can see Snafu moving down to semifinals B, and Allie has moved on to semifinals A. Can we give some hearts in the chat for Korosima, though? They made it to the finals yet again into our April competition. Unfortunately, won't be moving on past the first round.
And sometimes it does not work out in your favor, Gojj. But yes, I agree. Hearts in chat for a game well played. But that means it's time for us to start moving on toward Group B here in just a moment. But Gojj, when I look at it, I'm like, Jake from State Farm. I'm scared. I don't want to play Jake from State Farm.
Came straight from the commercials, made it into the competitions. Also looking at Cristiano, Aaron, and of course, on paper, the favorite, Chris. Chris won the December debut event we had last year. All eyes are on Chris at this point to see if they can replicate their success. I know Chris was really looking forward to potentially battling against Korosima again. I saw some Discord comms between the players and between our team and Chris was excited, of course, to make it into the competition. Wanted to see Korosima again because they actually went against each other in that debut that Korosima was also in, named Andy then. And unfortunately, Korosima's not moving on. But Chris still has a shot to move to the semifinals and take on Allie or Snafu. So we'll see. But maybe a new player will kind of show their face to the shining sun that is Uno Mobile Community Cup Finals. And, well, the game's ready, so let's hop straight in.
Let's get right into it, Gojj. See if Group B has the same fire and the same passion as what happened in Group A. And, well, right onto the board, let's take a look. Aaron, actually, some really nice double +4 wilds to work with. That's a great position to start in.
So the kind of expediency that everyone played their +4 wilds last time is that kind of aggressive play style of, hey, I want to play my +4 first. It'll draw everyone else's +4s out. And even if they were trying to play a little bit slower, they couldn't, or they're going to have to draw 8 or 12 or 16 cards. Aaron's in a perfect spot that if that kind of train of stacking gets started, they can kind of hold back the wave of onslaught of cards and still have one to play with after. Now Aaron's setting up perfectly to win this match if somebody doesn't do anything about it.
No, and they might not, because again, you said it best, right? Yes, he plays first +4. Get it to that blue. If you can get rid of that, you are in an excellent position with the skip on to Chris. We'll see, Jake, do you drop the +4 or do you decide to pull? And no, that you do draw it. And well, unfortunately for Chris, that means that we are going to see that added on top.
Yikes.
Not ideal, but some discard alls in the red and the blue for Cristiano. So not out of it yet.
Wow, and Aaron goes ahead and burns it. You're not in huge jeopardy to lose right there. And maybe you're a bit afraid that Jake from State Farm has like a discard all. So you go ahead and burn the +4. +8 to Jake is perfect circumstances for Aaron. Even if you can't win right here, which you can't, he is in a fantastic position still. Jake in a little bit of trouble. Goes for the +2, which will set up Aaron perfectly to get back to the blue that he won. And Chris is going to add to it. We're going +4 back to Jake from State Farm.
Oh, no. But on top of that, we'll see, does it stay blue? Because if it stays blue here, if there's no skip, but there's a reverse.
Ooh.
Just in time to keep it away from Aaron. Do we get the discard all? We do. Chris can play that wild to change it and chooses to the play. Remembers that Aaron still has that blue. Says not today, but can stay on Uno with a really nice 4 pull.
Chris knows what he's doing. Cristiano knows what they're doing. They made it through the qualifiers to get here. They know what to do to win this thing. They figured out Aaron didn't have a yellow and seemingly had a blue, so they kept it away when that discard all was so enticing. And you'll see a couple fall here. Of course, it won't be blue because Chris is right on top of Aaron, making sure that they cannot get any cards off. Now Cristiano's within striking distance to win this.
Uh-oh, you got the discard all, but that means Chris in a good position. But take a look, Chris now taking the lead with only 25 seconds left with that 6 and that 4, but a +2 means Aaron now in the lead. 20 seconds, this is going by fast, Gojj.
Very fast. The skip could come through here, and remember, take a look at the time, 10 seconds, so it comes down to point values. You don't want action cards in your hand at this point. You can stall out the time a sizable amount. Won't go green. Chris draws, but still in the lead. Another draw, but no! Cristiano plays it and wins it in the final second. Incredible win.
Wow.
Literally 1 second to go.
Wow.
0 points on the board for Cristiano and a win under their belt. Very well done.
Very well done. And that was stressful at the end. You got to feel for Aaron a little bit. So close so many times. But the other players in the group, like you said, they remembered to stay away from that blue. And then Cristiano, you're able to come out. You're able to get that done. I think really, really great job from them. Not quite as aggressive of a group, but really spicy toward the end of that game. It went the distance.
They went the distance, literally, 1 second at the final round there. But huge win from Cristiano. So when we take a look at it now, again, Cristiano will have 1 win, a solid score. But it is still anyone's game. And Chris has 3 wilds currently. So again, in a fantastic position. But +4 on top. This will go to +10. This will go to +. This could go +8. +18 to Cristiano if everybody plays?
That is unfortunate. You can't win them all, and you're certainly not going to win this stacking war because Cristiano, well, we will see you later. But that means everyone out of those +4s unless they get a draw here from the cards. And, well, so far it looks like I can't even tell anymore. That is tough for Cristiano. But Aaron, in a bit of a tough situation, too, because all you have is those blues. You don't really have a lot to work with.
That's right. You definitely want a wider variety. Now, likely there's going to be some discard alls in the mix with Cristiano, hopefully. Oh, look at Aaron. Uh-oh. Discard all for Aaron. If Cristiano bites on a discard all, Aaron could win it, and he does. Aaron perfectly set up for a victory. No one had any idea. We saw it coming. That's what happens when you draw 18, and that's what happens when you have the discard all. What a big win from somebody who we thought was probably not going to take that one.
No, not going to take it, but you said it. The discard all, we've now seen 2 rounds decided by that discard all power. And, well, when you got someone with that many cards, Cristiano, you have 18 plus added to your deck, you can kind of hope and pray maybe that they're going to use one of those discard alls. That's exactly what happened. You say, thank you very much. Let me just go ahead and win this game. So a great job on being able to close that out. When, as you said, they didn't have a great deck to start with. But look, Cristiano, speaking of, now you have a skip and a +4 wild. This is flying, and we're not even 30 seconds into the round.
Okay, this is what happens when you probably play a discard all at the very beginning. We're already on Uno. Wake up, folks. We're moving quick. Cristiano set up to potentially win his second. Aaron drawing +8, but some discard alls to play with. Don't count anybody out right now. We just need to make sure it doesn't go to blue. Jake could swing it that direction here, playing that +4, and does. Oh, no, but it's okay. It's okay. Cristiano has to draw, so Aaron's going to be playing next. Back to a fairly even playing field.
Fairly even. You do have some discard alls used out of Aaron. Chris, the cards useful toward the end, but you still got 2 minutes left, so that's 7 unless you get lucky. Maybe not going to do a whole lot for you, but we'll swing it back over toward that red. Aaron, you can change color, play a 7 or a 1. Nothing crazy from this, but you give the 7 to Chris. Gojj, oh no, the disaster. What are the odds?
That's just unlucky. You want to get rid of your higher value cards. You can't predict that they have a 7.
Tragic.
Usually players kind of hold on to their lower cards. So I play the 7 there as well. You just have no clue that Chris has that 7.
No, it's the smart play. Wild. It's the correct play. But sometimes you see that 7 pulled out and you're like, surely, Gojj, surely. No way. But here we are.
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at the bracket and see what our wins are at. Katie, take us through this.
Well, you can see right now we've got 3 out of the 4 in Group B with a win, but take a look at the score. The score very important here. Aaron with 289. They were able to end that win with a ton of cards across the board on the other players in the group. So they are in a really good position right now to either take first place or find themselves in second place if maybe the next couple rounds don't go well. But we'll have to see. Maybe this could be our first group with everyone getting a win on the board.
And we wanted to show that scoreboard because the score discrepancies. That's what's so important. It comes down to wins and wins alone until there's a tiebreaker. Then that score becomes incredibly important. And if you need to know, again, how that score works, it's just how decisive your win is. It's all of the other players' cards added up, and you get that score. So if you destroy everyone else and they got a ton of cards and you're out at 0, you get a massive score. As we hop back into it, we've got 3 different winners, and now we're taking a look at Chris's POV. Been pretty strong here. And again, hey, look, folks, we've been talking about the Wild Ears collection. There's a ton of card collections that you can use in-game. This is one of them, of course. Go check it out. Make sure you've already downloaded Uno Mobile to do that. Go check out the store. There's some cool stuff in there. And that Lily Pichu voice pack is going to be gone pretty shortly, so you want to get your hands on that. But back to the game at hand here, Katie. Chris still looking solid, but the only player without a +4 Wild.
The only player, and yes, that could get really, really dangerous depending on how it plays out. We'll have to see. And, well, there we go. The +4 is coming in, and it's not going to end well for Chris. You see the disaster coming. You want to look away, but Chris doesn't. Oh, no. Here we go. The +12 straight into the pocket. Congratulations, Chris. Hopefully you get some discard alls to help with that pain. That can't feel good.
Wow, a lot of action cards in that, but I think just one discard all. And we got to turn our attention to Aaron. If this randomly goes to green, we're going to be in trouble. It won't. Discard all, maybe a bit risky. You kind of want to make them draw. Goes for the skip just to be safe. I respect that from Chris. Make sure. Oh, wait. Nope. Aaron gets to play. Keep playing. Oh, Jake from Safe Harbor. Out of nowhere. Had the wild left. I was so focused on Aaron that Jake strikes home and finds a win. Very well done. Sometimes people sneak in there.
Look, I'm not saying I'm speaking things into existence, Gojj, but I said the discard alls, and they happened, and they won games. I said we might see our first group where everyone wins, and that has happened too. Jake on the board, everyone with a win. So who can take the lead?
I know. I think that was a pretty sizable win as well from a point total perspective. We'll keep an eye at the bottom of our screen here when our scores are ready to go and showcase that. But as we take a look at our cards across the board, Jake has 2+4s. Again, we always have to call that out because of how deadly it can be. If you can survive the stacking onslaught and still have a +4 to use, you're going to be in a really good spot.
Really good spot. The play, the 9 makes sense. You go for one of those +4s. It would end up on Chris, and oh no. Oh, this happened to Chris last time, Gojj, and it's happening all over again. Oh, Chris.
Chris is in trouble. It's a +12 to Chris. However, we've seen how good discard alls are. If he gets really lucky with this draw, maybe okay. Pretty good, actually. All of the blues and all of the reds can go with discard alls. Still into it and has 2 wilds. We're going to see another +4 to Cristiano. We'll have to draw here, likely, if they don't challenge. Otherwise, though, Aaron also looking strong.
Yeah, and Jake, I'm surprised, used the +4 early. We have about 2 minutes left on the clock when they made that decision. But there we go. And Uno out of Aaron changes it to reds. You know, everyone else on the board, they're going to want to get it off red to be able to deny that to Aaron. You do have a skip from Cristiano, and you bring it back to blue. Jake will have to pull. Either way, maybe you hit the reverse or you hit the +2 and say, we don't like that Uno, so here's a couple cards to give it out of your hand.
Yeah, Chris was a bit worried about discard alls there, which is why they went ahead and changed it. But went for it the second time and got away with it. Jake does not have a discard all. We'll kind of lie in wait and see what they're going to do. Chris goes ahead and burns the card again. Wants to get down to a low amount of cards, and red seemingly is working.
This is great.
Yeah, Jake has to draw 2, and now everybody knows that Jake doesn't have a +2 unless they just got it. Another skip. Jake in a blender, but we keep moving in the skip party, Katie.
This is great. Look, Chris can play this 3 now, and then if you get a discard all or you get yellow, Chris can just end it right here. 1 discard all, 2 discard all. Chris, doesn't matter what happens with the wilds at the beginning. It's how you finish. Chris gets it done. Beautiful.
This is why you save your wilds, and this is why you save your discard alls. Everybody thinks they're safe because they're getting rid of all of their cards. They're getting rid of whatever color they've situated. You got to think some of these other players might have discard alls, and they're going to win it. Our debut champion back in December, looking poised and ready to take Group B and potentially move on to the semifinals. See if anybody can stop him. Chris with 2 wins. We'll keep an eye on that scoreboard if somebody can tie him up. Again, top 2 players. So the first player to 3 auto moves on, and the second highest win count player will also move on unless it's a tie.
Look, I know that the +4s, those wilds they strike fear into everyone when you see them, but it's a discard all at the end of the day, Gojj. This is going to get me sweating if I am playing in this community cup. But you can see a couple +4s strewn about, everyone with a +4 to work with. So it kind of just depends on who starts it to see where it's going to end. But a nice little reverse comes out. We'll change it over to blue. See what Aaron's going to work with. We'll be able to play a card. But does Chris start the +4? Because it's not going to end well if they play it. Don't do it to yourself, Chris. You've been picked on. Don't play it. No.
He doesn't know. Chris doesn't know. Chris doesn't know that it's going to come back to bite him because everyone will play their +4s, and Chris will be drawing 16 to start off this round. And we're going to see Aaron, by the way, on Uno with a wild card if it can get past Cristiano. So keep an eye on Aaron potentially winning this if no one forces him to draw. It'll come down to whether or not Cristiano can play. And with it being yellow, not looking likely unless Jake goes ahead and changes it to blue.
Yeah, we'll have to see what ends up getting played. And goes with the wild card, but picks red.
Okay.
Could have been terrifying there, but you'll have to pull. Able to pull out a skip. What an amazing pull. Skip straight over Aaron, denies the win.
It's a huge because we're going to see a +2, which gives it to Cristiano for a +2. Instead of Aaron, it's Cristiano with a win.
Wow.
That is called top deck luck, and Cristiano won't really know unless they watch back the broadcast how close they were to not winning. If they didn't draw that skip, Chris wins that thing, and then or Aaron wins that thing, and then Cristiano might not be seeing the semifinals. Now with an opportunity tied at the top here, Katie. This is still anyone's game.
Anyone's game, and it is going by so fast. These are such decisive wins we've seen after that first one that went the distance, that first round. But here we go. Now we have 2 players at that match point potential, Cristiano and Chris, fighting to close this out. And look who has 2 +4s, none other than one of those players in striking distance.
So he's going to go ahead and burn 1. but there isn't a stack. So Aaron just is going to take it, and it won't burn Jake. So kind of on an even playing field again for Cristiano and Jake. Goes to yellow. Not a bad play looking at Chris's hand and everyone else's hand, to be honest. Once Aaron throws this down, nope. A nice top deck is going to prevent Aaron from getting rid of all of their yellows. I say, Chris could have been poised to win this thing, but these are the decisions you think back on and say, was this worth it or not? Do I play the wild? Do I keep it? Elects to keep it and then draws a wild, which they can then play. That ended up working out perfectly for Jake.
Yeah, that was great. Sometimes you take the gamble, and for Jake, it paid off indeed, but we'll get a bit of a reverse. Do we get a reverse back from Aaron? Yes, we do. We'll swing it over to Chris. Does have to burn that discard all, but now, risky. Jake, do you choose to use the +4? Yes, and it goes to green, which means, Cristiano, you're going to have to burn yours as well. Aaron, unfortunately, you will be picking up a decent amount of cards here in a minute. Elects for it to go red, but even if we get to the end, having a 1 and a 2 card, really good if you want to close it out in a first place.
That's right, and Jake can't get away from these greens. So it's green all across the board, which really spells disaster for Jake, because if it does go green, he's going to be relieved until Cristiano wins it. Able to draw 1, but it's not going to help anyone. Staying green. Aaron and Chris trying to catch up, and they're likely going to be able to do so if they just continue to keep it off green. Chris has got to know that one of these two players only has green. Turns out it's both. Another great draw from Jake to stay in this thing.
Well, and that's great because you pull actually that 8, which does give it to Cristiano as well to place that 8. And now you're back in that Uno positioning, but we'll see what happens. You can't play the 2. Unfortunately, you do get a 1 though, and with only 45 seconds, not bad. We can now see who's in first place, who's in second, none other than the 2 players vying for that 3rd win.
Skips across the board, will skip Cristiano. Keep it fairly even. Cristiano versus Chris. The 2 top players, 30 seconds left. Katie, again, if Cristiano or Chris wins this, they will move on to the semifinals and end Group B. 20 seconds left. Chris is able to play, has got to get it to green, though, to get rid of that skip, or Chris won't surpass Cristiano. Cristiano goes to 1, and it's really only 2 points, 10 seconds. Chris is not going to get rid of the skip. This is Cristiano's game. This could be it unless they move quick.
Well, Chris is just eating time. Tries to burn the clock, but it's going to be Cristiano. With that, too, consistently, yes, not able to close it out, Gojj, but consistently pulling such low-value cards that maybe not as helpful at the beginning of a game, but excellent at the end when no one had those discard alls, no one had any +4s really to be able to work with, and that is how it closes. You know, sitting there saying, just run down the clock. Please just run down the clock.
That's right.
That is exactly what happened.
Well, this is the thing. Chris is a winner. Chris wants to win, but Chris also knew that if Cristiano won, Chris also wins because it's the top 2 players moving on to the semifinals. And so Chris and Cristiano, we'll see them a little bit later in the day once we get through the group matches. Let's take a look at our replays here, Katie, because yes, it was the Chris and Cristiano game, but everybody netted a win this time around. So definitely a different group than Group A.
Yeah, it was really a tight race across the board, and then it just kind of felt like Cristiano and Chris really just started to run away with it. It was kind of that battle between them. But you said it best, right? It's the top 2 players. 50% of each group moves on to our semifinals. So yes, as long as Cristiano wins, maybe you want to get first place, but it doesn't really matter because you know that with that win, you're guaranteeing yourself a cozy move on into that semifinal. You're feeling good about it. Maybe you want to try and get that first place next time around, but you gotta feel good about that win.
Yeah, and as we take a look at some of these replays, the discard alls, right? We preach it, we talk about it all the time. These things are deadly, and when you force some of these players to draw 18, they likely will walk away with a ton of discard alls, so that has to be in your brain and in those calculations you're making in order to net yourself a few wins. We'll see how this one finishes up. Again, looking back on Group B, Cristiano did get the win here because of time and points. Chris had that skip, but it's the top 2 players and they were tied for wins. So Chris was happy with that. Cristiano moving on with 3 wins, 500 score. Chris moving on as well to the semifinals with 2 wins, 335. The score only comes into play if there's a tiebreaker. So here's a look at where we're at in the bracket here, Katie. Semis A, it's Ali versus Chris and 2 more. And then on the other side in Semis B, Cristiano is joining Snafu.
Yeah, we'll see how the rest of Group C and D fill out the semifinals. But I think we've really seen some kind of distinct differences in Groups A and B, right? Is that A, they were not afraid to play those +4 wilds, get them out of the way early, and we didn't really see very many games go the distance. Group B, that's exactly what we got in the first round. That's exactly what we got in that final round, that determiner that allowed Cristiano to be able to get that third and final win. So if we've seen two distinct playstyles out of Groups A and B, I'm very excited to see what C and D have to offer.
Yeah, let's take a look at C. This is what's up next. We've got Bear 1, we've got Lumps, Apple, and Mrs. Cash 404 money sign. Talking about cash, looking for the cash. I like that. Great name. But my eyes are set on Apple. This is Apple participated in our February monthly finals and got third. One place away, Katie, from making it to our November finals and walked away with about $500 cash during that event. So got a little bit of taste of the cash, looking for some more, but also looking for that invite to the November grand finale at the end of the year. It's got to feel almost like a tease at the very end of the February saying, oh, it's so close, but they're back and ready for more. So excited to see what they're able to do here in Group C. And will they kind of play a lot like Chris, so feeling a little comfortable and trying to grab that win, or will it be a new face taking the lead out of Group C? Time for the game, so let's take a look at it. We don't have to guess. I will say, chat, I want you to guess. Give us some predictions. Type in chat who you think's gonna win in Group C. If you're a fan of Apple, let's see some apples in the chat. If you're a fan of Mrs. Cash or otherwise, type their name in the chat. We want to see who you think's gonna win this.
I like apple, Gojj, because apples are one of my favorite snacks, and I've got some downstairs. So I'm Team Apple right now. That red, delicious, looking fantastic. We had a nice little reverse, but look at Bear with the 2+4s to be able to work with could come in handy. We talked about it, right? You can afford to use one of those maybe to flush things out, get other people to use theirs. Decides not to just yet, but does have a nice discard all in the back pocket.
Yeah, Apple will go down to 3 with the +4. We'll see who starts the gravy train, as it were. That is the +4 stacks. Discard all being played, but Apple's going to have to hang out for a little bit. So will Miss Cash, unless you go ahead and burn the wild. I don't mind it. Mrs. Cash is the only one without a +4, though. So it could go poorly, whoever starts this stacking train.
Should skip. It's the Uno, yeah, and you're going to want to keep it away from that blue, though. I don't think people are aware, but maybe the skip or the +2 here from Apple. Very viable to deny, and, well, it says we're going to go yellow instead and start the +4. Really, every single card at Apple's disposal was going to deny Mrs. Cash that ability to win.
Yeah, interesting to talk about because Apple now without a +4. So if this stack train starts, again, now only Bear 1 has a +4. This is best case scenario for Bear 1 is that the two people in front of them use their +4 and no one was able to do anything about it. A discard all comes across. Should see a +2 stacked to a +4 on Mrs. Cash. Bear 1 in a perfect position to take this thing. If it goes red, which it does.
Uses red. What a great selection for Bear 1. Calls out the Uno. You've got the wild and the +4. Can we get there? A skip potential not able to be used for Mrs. Cash. And, well, Bear 1 says, thank you very much for that. I will happily take a fast round 1 win.
See, that's what's so fun to talk about with the +4s is because stacking totally changes the way that you want to try to utilize those +4s. And we saw some people trying to use them early to draw out the other +4s because basically the main strategy, don't let anyone save a +4 to the end, period. But the way it worked out with the player next not having one, everyone burned theirs except for Bear 1, and they just walked to the finish line. That was a free and clear win. I don't think we're going to see another one of those, but worked out perfectly for our platinum player down at the bottom of our screen.
Yeah, platinum is impressive all on its own. But take a look, Bear 1 this time around, the only one who does not have a wild to work with. Doesn't have that +4 wild, to be able to hold on to. Does have a little bit going on, but we'll see at what point that +4 starts. Right now, getting close to an Uno already, especially if it can stay on that yellow or discard all comes in quickly. Put Apple in a good position, too. There we go. We'll see. Do you decide to change color? Do you draw? Yes. And we'll go with blue for the reverse.
Yeah, this could potentially start it here, and this would go to, it does. That'll go to 12 to Bear 1, so not ideal. but you already have one win under your belt. It's okay, Bear One. You're gonna lose some cards here. You're gonna gain some cards rather. Sorry.
You're gonna lose some hope. You're gonna gain some cards. But
yes, right.
Hey, we've seen it. The discard alls. We've seen people get hit with a plus 18 and come back from the brink, be able to take it away. So it is certainly not the end of the world. You do get a plus 4 in there and at least one discard all. Hopefully you can get some more, but we will keep on cruising through. A skip, maybe a reverse. That's exactly what happens.
Okay.
We'll put Apple on Uno though. Do you want to stay away from that 8? You want to stay very far away from blue?
I know. I'll be really curious to see what happens here because Lumps likely will just follow. We could reverse back into red because you know they don't have one. That's exactly what happened, but it's going to be a double reverse. It could be a triple reverse. Let's go ahead and hit it. Let's just hope it's not a blue that he throws down. Oh,
I was worried.
So I was a bit scared. I'm not going to lie.
Look, if it stays on this green, that could be huge, and it is Lumps. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the green, and we will have another winner on the board.
There's only so much you could do. And again, I love being able to see all the cards because we get to see all of the different timelines, as it were, that could happen. And the triple or quadruple reverse, whatever it was, decent strategy, but it is risky given the fact that the person up the top also was on Uno. So I respect it. Goes for the discard all. Unfortunately, doesn't pay off for Bear One. It does pay off for Lumps. So 2 different winners. Let's see if we can triple up maybe, or if somebody will grab their second win.
Yeah, and that's going to could be similar to Group B. Maybe everyone is able to get on the board, but right now, Apple able to switch it over to blue, stacks a plus 2 onto Bear, and, well, a nice discard all. That actually puts Lumps in a really good position. You have the discard all for the yellow and that plus 2 to play, but unless you get skipped. Well, we'll see you next time it gets around to you.
No blues to write home about for our 2 players horizontally across from each other. And the only player with blues is Mrs. Cash, so we'll try to keep it to that. But as it goes green here, Katie, a plus 2 won't be able to be answered. So Apple draws 2 yellows. However, one was a discard all. Apple's still in a fantastic spot if it does get back to yellow, but it has to go through Lumps, who is in the exact same position, except even better, because they only have yellows. Watch out for yellow. Apple doesn't want to show their hand yet, so it's going to bluff a little bit with red.
There we go. Lumps just waiting to get lucky, and unfortunately not lucky enough to pull a yellow. But look at that, Apple in prime position here. Do you draw another 9? And, well, they're just hoping. Keep it yellow for Apple. An Uno comes out of Bear One, but that might not be enough. The discard all comes in, and Apple, thank you. We'll see you later. That is a win on the board.
Perfect setup. Discard alls are so strong, and I love that Apple bluffed a little bit. They had a red, so it was almost like a micro bluff. Said, hey, I can play 1 card at the very least. I'm not totally messing up my gameplay, but I'm not showing everybody that I really want yellow, so that if I do swap to it, everybody be like, we'll be okay. No, you won't. They might have 7 cards, but they've got a discard all. Apple throws down, not even getting close to Uno, but grabbing a victory of their own. Katie, 3 different players, 3 different winners. This is a little bit reminiscent of Group B.
You think Mrs. Cash is going to get on the board? I feel it. I feel like we're going to have a Group B. We're going to get a little rewind to that. See everyone on an even playing field with 1 win apiece. I want to see it go the distance.
No, I think it certainly can. I mean, I think last month we only had 1 round that went all the way to game 9. And I think in February there was at least 1, if not 2. So could see it go the distance this time around as well. I need everybody at home. You got to type in who you think's going to win because we have 3 different winners. They're all looking strong. And again, on paper, Apple has gotten the farthest in these competitions, but currently tied at the top. Mrs. Cash primed and ready for a victory here.
Yeah, Mrs. Cash, you have the 2 plus 4s looking very strong, but Bear One at this point, you got the green and you got that blue. So not a bad position. You're able to play that onto Uno early on. Okay. If it somehow ends up going to blue and you avoid the plus 4s, but that is exactly what happens, Gojj. And we know how this sorry tale ends, Bear One. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a plus 12 to Bear One. The question is, what color does it end on? If it ends on red, which if Mrs. Cash likely will play into their own hand, goes yellow. Okay, so Lumps may burn their wild as well. But Bear One not on victory door any longer. Does go ahead and show their hand and say, hey, I want red. You better keep it on red. Apple can't do anything about it, Katie. Mrs. Cash may let it slide for a turn. And the question is, are they going to be dismayed about it? Probably not, because Bear 1 throws down all of their discard alls and all their greens.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Bear 1, you are really hoping that you had one of those discard alls be blue instead of 3 on green. But Bear 1 will add additional cards, but does it stay yellow? The hand has been played with that +4. No, it will swing back over to red. So we'll see. Apple will need to draw off of that. Imagine. I was about to say, imagine if they pulled a red 6.
I know. That was a huge top deck draw to make it a wild. You can't predict that, and it's exactly what they needed, because I don't think anyone could have kept Mrs. Cash from winning if they didn't draw that card. Now on red, stays red and is skipped to red. This is going to see a +4 over to Mrs. Cash. No, saves it for the end. I like this strategy. If Apple had a +2, Lumps could protect themselves. But we're down to the final 60 seconds, and we're on blue.
And Mrs. Cash able now with that green skip to be able to call that Uno. But Lumps plays skip to Mrs. Cash. We've got a win on the board for everybody. Gojj, let's go.
Wow.
Just like Group B.
This is exactly what happened in Group B. And that's one of those things you can't predict. I mean, oftentimes you can think a little bit about, okay, players really want to get rid of their high value cards, but you want to save those action cards as a buffer, so you want to save +2s. You don't usually think somebody's saving a skip to their last card, at least not intentionally. And so went ahead and burned the card, and unfortunately, that's a win for Mrs. Cash. So 4 players, 4 different winners, and now 2 players with 2 +4s apiece. This is going to get real dicey.
That's so many. I think that's the first time we've seen 2 players in one round with those +4s double at their disposal. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But Mrs. Cash able to get on the board. So now at least one goes down. The +4 begins. Will end with Mrs. Cash, who did not have a while to be able to move that along. But Bear 1, no blues. And, well, Apple will be happy to throw one down. Maybe a skip. Yep, that's exactly what we get.
Okay, Lumps in a really good spot. Gonna go ahead and burn the +4, but I don't mind it, because yes, they have another one. It's also gonna draw Apple's second +4. So now Lumps is the only player with a +4, and they have a +2 to actually cover their stack. If Bear 1 does get a chance to throw down that red +2, Lumps can hold. No, go ahead and burn another one, I guess. Lumps is trying to get it to green and trying to keep it on green. Taking the aggressive stance, a bold strategy, but Apple has to draw, so you're now in the lead by a sizable amount.
Yeah, and really, I think playing that +4 ends up working really well in Lumps' favor, even if maybe it was used a little bit early. So we'll have to see how they're able to counteract that. Not a lot of discard alls. You've got one for Mrs. Cash, and we'll use it right there to try to even the playing field a little bit. But Apple still in a bit of a pickle, forced to draw one more, and unfortunately not able to throw it onto the pile.
Lumps with 2 +2s, but no wilds. Needs a +2 to come out from Apple, which it likely will. Gonna go ahead and burn it. Now we're gonna get a stack, and we go green. There's 4 for Bear 1. Yet again, Lumps in a great spot, especially if it stays green. We should see... We're still gonna see an Uno, but you're gonna have to burn that +2, so then Lumps is kind of in a precarious situation.
Not as ideal, and now that we're under a minute, take a look. The second battle for Lumps and Apple is on. Lumps at least holding on to a good position with a lower card value, but, well, we're going to have to see. There you go, still holding on a nice discard all coming out of Bear 1, and there you go, Lumps still able to hold on, but both of them with greens at a +2. Now Apple in first with 25 seconds to go.
Okay. Keep an eye on the math.
Ooh.
Again, you've got to get rid of your +2s. More action cards. Lumps in trouble. Lumps not even in second now because of the action cards. We've got to get it to green, and we have to get it there now. Apple in second. Bear 1 might sneak to the victory line if they're not careful. It's able to throw down 6. Only 8 points on the left-hand side. Apple can't play a card. Bear 1 should take this, burns the clock, the filibuster. Bear 1 comes out of nowhere and wins that round. I love that strategy. Katie, it gets me so excited to see high-level Uno Mobile because Bear 1 burned the clock out. Incredible job at the very end to make sure they netted a victory. That's tough luck for Apple.
That's tough luck, really, for both of them. They were battling. They were in these premium positions. Once we hit that 1 minute mark, Gojj, you could see it was first, second at the top, just battling back and forth. And Bear One said, yeah, just let me cook. Give me a minute, and I'll swoop in and take this away. Does exactly that. And look, a nice discard all. Does have the +4 lumps with a double and a discard all, though. Could be in a great position to try and get that second win as well. Let's take a look and see. It's Apple. What do you play? Nothing except that 2. Does get the reverse. Apple will have to draw unless you want to use that wild, which is dangerous here to do. You don't really want to use it too early on, but actually decides to. Changes it to blue instead of going for that draw. But, well, it gets switched right back to green, and that will be a challenge potentially from Bear One. Decides, know what? Don't even need to do that. We can throw down the +4. Mrs. Cash in a bit of a precarious situation. But Apple, it's yellow. You can throw down that 4. Puts them in prime position here as we are on sub 2 minutes to be able to close out this round. Now, keep in mind, Bear One is in striking distance with this Uno of potentially being able to close it out. If Bear One does it here, they'll be able to take it away, but it's gonna be lumps with the +4 says thank you. Don't have to worry about Bear One because now there are 2 leaders on the board who are in striking distance with 2 out of their 3. Ready to go. 2 out of 3 wins, getting oh so very close to joining groups A and B in that semifinal category. And look, we've seen some craziness from these groups so far, and it does really seem like Group C, Gojj, is playing so similarly to Group B in that we very well could see another first place finish from one of the other 2, Mrs. Cash or Apple right now sitting at 1. It seems like really every round is anyone's game.
I totally agree. And I'm so glad you just took that whole thing your way because that was such a fun finish. I didn't want to interrupt anything. Perfect execution, Katie. But as we hop back into the next round, I am really excited to see who's going to take this one. And as we look at our cards, it's a pretty even ball game. There's nobody starting with 2 +4s for the first time, probably this entire group. And it's just a matter of who burns there first. Bear One, the only one without a wild, burning theirs early.
Yeah, and it's going to be Apple and Mrs. Cash that are the 2 looking for a second win to keep things alive. Bear One and Lumps trying to close it out here. They don't want to give anyone hope. They go with the discard all. Bear One plays the skip. Makes sense. Don't allow Mrs. Cash to start that +4 roll, but it doesn't matter. Lumps and Apple will give that +8 to Bear One. Hey, better than a +12, Gojj, but not ideal if you're trying to win it.
Exactly. Got a few discard alls, a lot of greens on the board, except for Mrs. Cash. Likely these 3 players could keep it here for a while if they want to. Couple reverses, back and forth, little discard all action, but it's going to stay green. And Mrs. Cash does not want to give away that +4, Katie. Not yet.
I wouldn't want to either. It's your token to extending this one more round. If things go your way, does do the nice +2 onto Apple. Will force a draw out of Lumps, but gets the reverse right into the 9 for Apple. Mrs. Cash now, what do you want to do here? Are you going to pull? We've seen it. Does not want to burn that +4, but decides to finally. Says, I want it on blue. I want it there now. And well, Bear One, unfortunately, those cards you got rid of, well, you just got them all back.
Yeah, exactly. And again, only wild on the board is Bear One. So everybody pretty even, but they got to make sure don't sneak another win here. It's going to go ahead and skip lumps just in case. Apple could try to change it. No, doesn't get lucky, but a nice draw from Mrs. Cash with the skip. Now we're down to the final 60 seconds.
Well, they played
Mrs. Cash. Ooh, I know, I was scared. I thought Mrs. Cash maybe was about to win with the skip, but discard all on the board. We have to throw down here. Keeps it down to 2 cards. Apple in the lead because Mrs. Cash has the action card. Watch out. If they get rid of that discard all, Mrs. Cash could walk through with a victory, but Apple is in the lead just barely. Not when they play the 9, though. Takes it to Uno. Takes it to Uno again. 2 players on 1 card. 19 seconds and a +2. It stays red. Apple with the victory on paper. Apple was going to come out swinging. Got third in February, back trying to grab another victory. Very well done.
This is Lumps, Bear 1, and Apple now, Gojj, all with 2 wins. I don't know what's happening right now, but Group C is not disappointing. Everyone is here and ready to play. None of these players are disappointing.
No, look, this is what happens. Anytime the matches get down to the final 15, 20 seconds, it's a mad dash. Any strategy that's in the back of your brain is starting to fly out of your ears, and you've got to figure it out. Speaking of ears, on our heads right now, that's what it feels like. Your ears just start like flying out. You turn into our Wild Ears collection that you can check out in the store because it's chaos, and you can see who's in first, so you're trying to rapidly read what cards they have. It's nuts. We'll see if it happens again, but you're right. 3 players on match point, Katie.
Look at this Bear 1. Once again, it's those double +4s that they have to work with, and they are in striking distance. They are one of those players who has 2 wins out of the 3 necessary. Blue, happy to throw that 4 down. Does get sent back their way. If you play a +4, you do. Sends it over to red, which means Mrs. Cash forced to burn hers. And you know, Gojj, she did not want to do that.
I know. You do make Apple draw 8 cards, which is massive, though. And quickly, before this round's over, take a look at the bottom of our screen. Lumps technically in the lead for a tiebreaker. So Lumps is pretty much free and clear, going to walk their way to the semifinals if Apple or Bear 1 wins this round. Ideally, Lumps will just take it themselves, but just keep that in mind. Lumps is in the lead via the tiebreaker.
Well, an interesting Apple there had some discard all options, chose not to use them, but does get a nice discard all for Bear 1 to keep that card count fairly low. So Apple, what do you decide to do? Plays the 6. Interestingly enough.
Goes to red.
Goes red, and Bear 1 now just with 4 points across those 2 cards, but a discard all now, presumably. There you go, gonna come out for Apple, but it does put Lumps on that Uno, as does Bear 1. So we'll see, they both need the green, and Apple's gonna play the 3.
Do they know? Does Apple know that they have a green? If Apple has to know. No, Apple knew. Apple drew a card. Apple knows that Lumps has agreed. Apple, with the incredibly high IQ strat, knows they can't change it to green and will not relent. Bear 1 and Lumps still in the lead, but Apple playing so incredibly smart, but it can't catch a break. It goes to blue.
No.
Apple has to draw. 40 seconds left here, Katie.
Gojj said, look, Apple said, if I can't win, I'm not letting you win. So I will make the 1000 IQ play to deny, but now Mrs. Cash.
Okay.
An option here at all Lumps. The pain just gets worse. Does have a green discard, although could put them right back into play. But you're right, there's only 20 seconds left. So how is this going to play out? You're able to hit the 4 for the Uno. Mrs. Cash, can you slide in and take it?
Yes. Got it. It doesn't even have to go to the final timer. Mrs. Cash 404 money sign grabs her 2nd victory, folks.
Wow.
We're going to game 9. Every single player has won twice. And Katie, the first player to 3 wins. That's crazy. I was not expecting that at all going into the last 40 seconds. But then Mrs. Cash could play every single time. Everybody else was drawing. They walk away with a victory. Very well done. And also, that was a decisive victory. There were a lot of cards left on the table. And remember, everyone's tied. So yes, whoever wins this game of Uno will move on to the semifinals. But then it comes down to the tiebreaker. And Mrs. Cash could have just solidified themselves a spot in the semifinals if that was as decisive of a victory as I thought it was.
Take a look. No one with a particularly dominant hand. We do have some +4s. We do have some regular wilds right now for people to work with. We'll see. Throws down the 5. We'll have some action. Does have a discard all option here for Apple. Chooses to use it. Get a nice little Uno reverse. Forces the draw if Apple doesn't want to use that wild. They decide to actually. Don't want to hold on to it. And maybe some mind games here. Swings it over to blue.
Okay, so look down at the bottom of our screen. Our scores are updated. Folks at home, technically unofficial, but we believe these to be as correct as humanly possible. If this is the case, that means Lumps 2,800 will move to the semifinals no matter what. they will get second if they don't win this. Everyone else is trying to win, especially Apple, who is down at the bottom of this leaderboard. There's no way Apple makes it unless they win this round. Lump's in a perfect position to win it. Doesn't even gonna have to rely on the tiebreaker, Katie. Going down to Uno here. We gotta be careful, or all of a sudden, Lumps just takes this with ease, and then it would go to Bear 1. We'll keep an eye on the scores and keep reminding you, everybody on the edge of our seats, this is nuts.
Oh, but if Lumps is forced to play that yellow, and does, that means Bear 1 takes it with the yellow 3. Lumps and Bear 1 able to get it done, but our first round 9, it goes the distance, Gojj, and it did not disappoint. Those 3 scores specifically with Mrs. Cash were so close.
Yeah, I was loving breaking down the scores because what was so important about that round was that Lumps didn't have to win. Lumps just needed the game to be over, and Lumps is moving on to the semifinals. So it came down to everyone else. Apple, close, but not quite. Mrs. Cash with a massive last round, but not enough. And it was Bear 1 that just walked their way to the finish line and grabbed the victory, which means Bear 1, and of course Lumps, going to be moving on to the semifinals. Let's take a look at exactly what happened and the crazy chaos that was 9 rounds of Uno Mobile to get to our next group.
And well-deserved, all of these players fighting tooth and nail in every single one of these rounds to keep things competitive, keep everyone on their toes. But so many great plays. This discard all that we saw from Apple earlier on was so excellent. Once again, I feel like every group, Gojj, we've seen a discard all win. We also got to see some of those +4s. But really, I know Apple wasn't able to move on, but some of the mind games Apple was playing in later rounds to deny wins was very impressive.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look back at some of these replays, and again, it kind of solidifies this conversation we've had all year, which is, hey, given these rule sets, always you have to play mind games. If you just play honest and straightforward, usually you're going to get beaten, because what we saw, right, from, I believe it was Apple playing really high IQ gameplay there of, like, recognizing this player has a green, so I cannot play this normal card that any player would play if you're just playing Uno. I know they have a green. If I change it, they win. Played really, really smart there. Didn't end up paying off, but I got to give a shout out to Apple for making it back to another finale and then almost walking away with a victory. Here's that scoreboard. It reassures everything that we were confirming on broadcast. Bear 1 did get 3 victories. They're moving on regardless of score, but then it comes down to that tiebreaker. Everybody else has 2 wins. Lumps moving on with the highest point total of 293. Only by what is that, 44 points? That is not a lot in our tiebreaker. So very, very close. Shout out to Mrs. Cash 404 and Apple, of course, for making it this far. But we have 3 out of our 4 competitors in each of our semifinals here, Katie.
Yeah, and take a look at the increase in rounds from Group A to Group C, Gojj. You have the first group goes by the fastest. Group B, well, everyone gets on the board. Group C goes all the way to the distance to that round 9. So Group D, look, I don't know if we get another round 9. I don't know if we go back to the Group A style and they just get hyper aggressive with those +4 wilds off start. But look, I pointed this group out at the beginning. Kelly, Corey, Elizabeth, and Angela. I think we're going to get some heat from them, Gojj. I just feel it in their confidence. Feel it.
I feel it as well. I'm excited about all 4 of these players. This is the only group, I believe, where we don't have a single returner. So these are all brand new players. We haven't seen their gameplay style, their strategies. Will they play aggressive? Will they play passive? Are we going to save those +4s, or are we going to burn them early? Those are the conversations we'll be able to really talk about, Katie, during this round, because brand new people, just like you at home, if you're watching this broadcast and you're like, hey, I want to be on the main stage, I want to fight for $5,000, all you have to do is join the Discord. I believe we've got a command for you, !Discord. You'll pull it up, get a chance to take a look at how the community works. But you do it all in-game, so go download the game as well. And speaking of in-game, I told you were going to win today as well. We gave away a code earlier in the broadcast. We've got another one coming very soon, so stay tuned. I see you asking in the chat. And speaking of the chat, I do believe we saw our March winner in the chat earlier. Destiny, shout out to Destiny for winning last month. We'll see who can join her in the winner's circle today. But yes, giveaway code coming soon, Katie. Excited about Group D.
Yeah, excited about Group D as well. I love to see prior month's winners in here participating, watching the action, getting excited about it, cheering everyone else on. Because if you are in those top 2 spots at the end of each tournament, whether you win or you get second place, we'll see you in November. So maybe Gojj, they're sizing up the competition. They're trying to get some eyes on who they should be looking out for.
I agree. And speaking of that too, speaking of eyes, ears, and everything else, we got to talk about the Wild Ears collection. That's why we're wearing these. If you're just tuning in, you're like, what's going on? The Wild Ears collection. We've been celebrating it all of this month. Go check it out. Yeah, Katie, this is your normal outfit, of course. But this is Group D, brand new competitors. Let's hop into the action here. A few Wilds across the board, but pretty even start.
Yeah, pretty even start. Kelly decides not to go for the +4 early. Works out, able to get a nice discard all. We'll keep it onto that red. Angela follows suit. Not a bad play. I think probably happy they chose to hold on to one of the only 2 +4s that we have so far. Kelly actually seemingly in a pretty good position right now.
I agree. Liz is going to go ahead and burn the Wild.
Yellow.
Follow in kind with Angela. So Wild's being burned, but the +4 is still on the table. Kelly is playing a little bit of a slower strat, saying, I don't have to burn this right now. Let me wait. Let's hold on to it for a little bit.
Kelly's getting nice draws, though. Those draws are paying off.
I totally agree. And again, if you can save it till the end, you're going to be feeling fantastic because basically nothing except for a skip can prevent you from winning. Kelly's still in a perfect position to do that. Corey burned theirs, and Kelly still holding on and still hitting the top deck luck. That is crazy. Look, it's not February, and it goes to red. So we're in a perfect position. Kelly should win this unless somehow it goes to yellow here out of nowhere. Nope. Reverse back to Kelly.
Right into the win.
Boom.
Kelly said, thank you very much to those top deck pulls. Thank you for that. Uno reverse Gojj. I will get a win on the board. Wow, that was so much luck. Every draw, perfect.
That's the thing. It's like this is what Uno Mobile's all about, right? It's the combination of strategy and luck. And Kelly had both of it. We're saving the +4s. We continue to draw and save that Wild till the end. And a little bit of luck, drawing off the top of the deck, able to play it basically every single time. It's a fantastic first round for Kelly. See if they can potentially replicate that. Corey with the most Wilds, but still fairly even across the board.
And, well, those Wilds don't help if you're getting skipped and you can't play them. Look at that. Kelly with pulls a Wild +4. Are you kidding me with these top deck draws out of Kelly?
You.
They are incredible. Does decide to play one of them. Swings it green. Could see that reverse into another reverse. But no, Corey says, I don't want it on that green. Let's send it to a yellow. Does also work for the rest of the players on the board. We'll play that 9, keep on moving. But now look at Corey. Similar cards, just one less than Kelly.
Kelly again. This isn't March. This is looking like some shamrock luck if I've ever seen it. My goodness. Cannot. Oh, I thought we were going to get a reverse. My heart jumped. Corey poised and ready to win. Nothing that these players could do. Even a +4, you think Corey's going to have to draw, but that's a stack. Nope. Even still without the reverse, Corey grabs the victory, and +12 that Kelly has to take means a massive victory for Corey, especially in terms of points. Again, +4s win the day. And to be honest, I think this is really the first time out of all of our groups where we've seen this many already just in 2 games. +4 final cards. They're so powerful if you can hold on to them. But a lot of our other groups have been burning them way earlier to force the other players to burn theirs.
Yeah, and this time around, it works out in their favor. But let's jump back in and see a couple +4s on the board. Angela, the only one going without. So we'll see at what point those cards come into play. But nice job out of Corey and Kelly. And wow, Corey, that total score on top of that win, Gojj, was massive.
Yeah, exactly. It's because of the +12 draw there. Corey grabbed a 274-point win, really hedging their bets in case it goes to a tiebreaker. But you need wins, so not in the clear yet. We tune in. Folks at home, type in who you think's going to win. I think it's going to be Corey sitting on a +4. Liz is close as well, but there's nothing any of these players can do. Kelly throws it down. That's another +8 on top of Lizzie and another decisive victory. They get a +10. Let's rock and roll. See you later, alligator. Corey 2 victories, decisively setting themselves up to walk into the semifinals.
That was the fastest win I think we've seen. It was over 2 minutes left on the clock. Everything went Corey's way, and we talked about that score looked nice the first time around, but wow, that score, that total score, if for some reason you get to that tiebreaker level with Corey, I can't imagine how you beat that. But, well, we got wilds left, right, and center, and more +4s that I think we know what to do with. But Corey is in a position here potentially to be able to close it out very early on.
I think 525 points might be the highest point total we've seen in 3 games, let alone 2. So we'll see. A great skip here means Lizzie won't go to Uno on a wild. There's the first +4. It won't stack because Kelly can't do anything about it.
Draw 4.
Means Corey yet again in a pretty good spot, but may have to burn their +4.
Would be wise to do so. It would put Elizabeth on the denial, but chooses not to do that and brings it back yellow.
I like that.
And you have to think with that many cards, maybe they realize you have that discard all if you're bringing it yellow. So they're able to take it off. And yes, it'll be that +4. Do you play it? We'll have to see. And
It's okay. It's okay.
it's okay.
They have to
I
draw.
panicked. I was like, you don't have a +4.
We both freaked out because it went yellow, but it's okay.
I
Lizzie
know,
does
we're
have to
okay.
draw.
We're okay.
Now Corey's prized or poised rather and ready to go. Only yellow's in their hand and knows that Lizzie also would like to keep it yellow. Yet Lizzie says, no, we're going to green. You want it yellow. We're not staying on yellow. I can go out in 1 turn on yellow. So I'm going to burn the rest of my cards so it looks like I don't have a chance. The skip, though, Lizzie will have to draw. Nobody else has blue, so Angela and Kelly are just going to rock and roll. There's a quick skip, though, to change it. Kelly's got another one. Kelly getting right back into the mix quickly, might I add, after being down in the dumps.
Look at that. Angela now with that reverse. I think Corey's just trying to play the game at this point. Got skipped 3 times in a row. But Elizabeth, now, what do you do? Well, you're going to have to go ahead and +2, but so can Corey. We'll send all of that over to Kelly. Yeah, nice play there. Angela, this is where the clock comes in. Elizabeth and Corey fighting over first, but it's that +2 that's going to deny Corey because Elizabeth's sitting on that 9. It doesn't even matter because Elizabeth throws it down on the green Gojj. And, well, we got one more player on the board. Nice job out of Elizabeth.
I'm telling you, when it gets down to less than 60 seconds, all rational thinking goes out the window. You have half the time. Oh, yeah. You have half the time to play a card, and you can see who's in first or second. So you're like trying to reason out how many cards they have. What do they have? Do they have an action card? I don't know. They didn't have an action card. We haven't seen Lizzie play a green in a while. Let's try green. No, that's exactly what Lizzie needed. Elizabeth does grab the victory. So Corey at 2. Elizabeth with a victory as well. Kelly, of course, having won before, I believe. So a couple different victories across the board. Let's see.
Look, Kelly is in really a great position here, but so are a few folks. We get that nice skip comes in. We'll swing over to Elizabeth. Does take it to green. Works for Corey, +2s, but unfortunately, when you play that, it's gonna +4 all the way back around to you. So Corey doesn't realize, I think, the disaster you just set in motion.
That's always the thing. It's like the first person to play a +2 or a +4 usually starts some sort of just destructive wave of drawing of cards, and it does burn Elizabeth's both of her +4s actually in basically one full swoop. Corey draws 14, so a little bit of a blender over there. We'll have to try to recover. Kelly in the best position by far, unless somebody doesn't do something about Elizabeth. If they think she might have a green, they could switch up the color. And if they go red, it's over. Okay, stays yellow. So we'll see what number gets thrown out here. Lizzie's still in trouble.
Oh, no. And Corey, it goes from bad to worse. But good news for everyone else because Corey's the only one with 2 wins right now and not in a position to be able to close it out here. The skip comes in, but doesn't help too much when you had a red 1. But we're getting down to the edge. All these players in a premium position, but really none with 1 card to close it out.
Corey is playing very smart. Corey knows that no one has a yellow. Keep it on yellow for as long as possible. Have them rack up cards. Going to continue to burn the wilds and keep pushing it back to yellow. Decent luck here so far, and they do get it to blue because of the numbers. Can we go yellow again? No. We go red, and with the skip, Kelly's on Uno, less than 60 seconds. Kelly on Uno, but not in first based on points. Lizzie
Kelly
not
will
even
win
on the
'cause of the
board.
one.
Oh, it's over. This is 1-1 blue
Angela plays
Kelly.
the one, brings it back to blue.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Kelly swoops in and says, we're all tied up on the match point. Go Corey and Kelly. It's been them from the beginning, and it might be them in the end, both with 2 wins. But I admire it. Corey was doing everything they could to stall the game. But unfortunately, there was only so much that could happen.
Well, it's so fun to look at the points and like see the medals pop up because, again, just because you have less cards doesn't mean you have less points. Because if your card is an action card or something like that, it's more points than the normal card. Those face cards are their face card values. So if you have a 1 and a 0 and a 1, that's 2 points total. So keep an eye on those points. Didn't end up mattering. Kelly tied with Corey, both on match point, both with 2 wins. And Kelly again in a very solid spot to move on to the next round.
Yeah, able to play that blue down now as well. You just have the 2+4s, and you get to play
wow.
your reverse. These colors are working
got it.
perfectly for Kelly. The +4. But look at
but
Elizabeth.
Lizzie-
But if you +4 this and you get skipped, it doesn't matter. Elizabeth takes it.
Draw card.
What?
No, Kelly had it in the bag. If you're Kelly, you're
Lose with
just
2 wild.
if you're Kelly, you're crying. You're crying right now. You were perfectly positioned.
Wow.
But Lizzie just outplayed, got down to the final card, and Lizzie gets skipped. So I'm blown away that Kelly didn't win that one, but Lizzie walks away with it. Nuts. That was the fastest round I believe we've ever seen. And
That's
now
also
we've
the
got
craziest ending. The fact that you can have 2+4s and lose is, and you played it as well as you could have. But now 3 contenders for match point: Corey, Elizabeth, and Kelly, all fighting it out right now. Who will come out on top, or maybe Angela will be pushing us to that round 8.
So I'm going to coin a new term for Uno Mobile Esports here. That came down to action economy. You can only play 1 card per turn. So it doesn't matter how many amazing cards you have. You don't have the action economy to keep up with somebody that is able to play before you. So unless there's a reverse, you're in trouble. Corey on Uno on a wild. I'm trying to coin a new term. Corey's trying to win, folks. It doesn't matter. Not even a +4. Boom. Corey moving on to the semifinals and coming down to a tiebreaker between our other 2 winners. I'm having a good time over here. And Corey's like, hey, Mr. Host, pay attention. I have a wild and I'm going to win this.
Yeah, I appreciate the action economy. Blah, blah, blah. I won. Congratulations. We're moving on to the semifinals.
I love it, Corey. Hey, that's been Corey's gameplay the whole time, man. He's next level, and he showcased that. We'll get a read on those tiebreaker of points because our other 2 players that had wins both had 2 wins. So let's take a look back at our replays. You can see Corey with some decisive victories. Likely the highest point total we'll ever see this month at the very least between 3 rounds. They were all very decisive.
Crazy. Corey played that so well. I still can't get over the Kelly Elizabeth moment where you said at the action economy, you have 2+4 wilds. That's all you have. Surely you must win. That is not how it played out. Elizabeth able to come in out of left field, steal it away with a +4 of their own. That was a super exciting round to be able to watch. And then Corey said, look, Gojj, you talk a lot, so let me just cut you off really quick so I can win this game.
Yeah, of course. Let's win the game every single time, Corey. You take it away, my friend. There it is, the final Uno card. Probably the first time we've seen it in a long time, at the very least, a final card victory on a basic Uno. But here's our score. Corey with 3 victories and over 600 points to boot. That's over 200-point average, by the way, per win. That's massive. But Elizabeth sneaks in there again on another close tiebreaker, 388 points. Unfortunately, Kelly, who played fantastic through that group, will not be moving on to the semifinals. And Angela, thanks for playing, but Kelly, Angela, not moving on. Here we are. We've got the semifinals bracket here, Katie, Allie, Bear 1, Chris, and Elizabeth up in semifinals A. Cristiano, Corey, Snafu, and Lumps down in semifinals B. First impressions, either side stronger or pretty even?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather be in semis B. because Elizabeth, that was maybe the most savage wild play I've seen, and it just sort of scared me a little bit, and we know how good Bear 1 is, but honestly, I don't know if you could really pick Gojj. All of these players are incredibly good, and we've seen all of them fight tooth and nail to be able to get here, but keep in mind, Allie is the only player who was able to get to 3 wins without anyone else getting 2 wins. So maybe that's the person you want to stay away from.
That's true. A lot of stats we can talk about. But folks, hasn't this been insane? This has been so much fun to watch. Some of the best nail-biting games we've seen in the Community Cup. So if you want to get involved, you need to go download Uno Mobile for free right now on iOS or Android Google Play stores. Go check it out. Have some fun. Join the community as well, by the way. !Discord will pull that up for you. They've got a thriving Discord community with a ton of Discord contests going on as well, let alone being able to talk about all of the Uno Mobile news. And speaking of that news, go follow Uno Mobile on all major socials. We are live on a lot of those socials, and we are live for the very first time on Twitch's on Uno Mobile's new Twitch account, which is our Uno Mobile Esports account. So go check them out on Twitch. We have a command for socials, !socials. You can see all those links down in the description as well. Now, folks, I said there's a giveaway coming soon, but before we get there, get your typing fingers ready. Not only for the giveaway, we have another trivia question for you before we head to a short break. Which emoji is not from the Lily Pichu emoji pack? We showed it on screen already. Is it A, heart, B, surprise, C, smirk, or D, laughing? Which one is not? Type in your answers right now. It is not. It is, but it's not B or C. Which of these is real? Which is fake? The fake one is the heart. This heart, it's not from the Lily Pichu emoji pack. Go check out that Lily Pichu emoji pack, of course, in the Uno Mobile store. Now, if you didn't get that right and you kind of got surprised with that, well, here's another surprise. Not really. I told you it's coming. Giveaway is here. Get ready. Type in the code. More giveaways coming to you, all courtesy of Uno Mobile. Here's the code. Go down to your account. Click the cogwheel. Click that redeem button and type in Uno Forever. It is the number 4. So Uno Forever. Go get your diamonds. Go get your shields. I know you've been waiting on it. It's here, Uno Forever. And while you're typing this in, we're going to head to a very short break here in the booth. I got to get some water. We've been yelling about the craziness that are these games, but there's going to be more coming down the line, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Uno.
You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes?
Skip. Blue. Uno. Uno.
Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun. Players from all over North America battled their way through a series of qualifiers, with the 16 best making it to our Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup. Our finalists will be playing with the same rules they used in the qualifiers: classic solos, stack, and our one house card rule, discard all. Competitors will work their way through a 16-player bracket, with the top 2 players from each match moving on to the next round, all the way to the grand finals. Instead of relying on score, our matches will continue to be played until the first player reaches 3 wins. That player will move on to the next round, along with the player with the second best record. If players are tied in wins, we'll have that covered in the rulebook. Finally, if you make it to the grand finals match, you will be playing for your share of the $5,000 prize pool, along with a unique in-game title and a pile of diamonds. Good luck, and may the best player win. You've seen what's possible from Uno Mobile, but now it's 2023 and Uno Mobile Esports is officially here. We will be doing it big with $50,000 in prizing, with 8 monthly finals starting in February all the way through October, with the top players from each making the November massive grand finale. You can be the next Uno Mobile Esports star. Don't miss your chance to compete for free in the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup monthly qualifiers in-game, and battle your way through live monthly finals for a chance at some amazing prizes, a spot in the grand finale, and a whole lot of unpredictable fun. This is the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. Do you have what it takes? Well, we are back. This is the Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup April Finals, and it has been a blast thus far. I caught my breath. I hope you all did at home as well, because we've seen some crazy nail-biter matches, but we have our 8 semi-finalists. And folks, look, my name is Gojj, and look, I've had so much fun, and of course, I'll be joined by my good friend Katie Bedford. But before I bring her in, you all at home, you gotta go download Uno Mobile. If you haven't had a chance to, that's why we're here. This is what we're celebrating, is Uno Mobile Esports, and you can have a chance to qualify to play in these tournaments in-game. All of those qualifiers happen in-app, so go download on iOS or Android Google Play stores, and go follow Uno Mobile on all of their major socials that they have. We're live on 4 or 5 different streaming platforms right now, with our brand new Twitch channel as well. And during that break, by the way, we've got some amazing collections happening. Of course, the Wild Ears collection we've been celebrating all day and all month, but also the Wild Waves collection. You all have had a chance to see that during our break segments. Really cool collection that we're able to preview on this broadcast that's coming very, very soon. So keep your eyes out on that store. Some awesome things coming your way. And finally, of course, we've talked about the Discord community this entire time. !Discord. I see those that love the Discord. I see our Discord community in the live stream chat here on YouTube. Our mod Neil running it up, and a couple of our past winners hanging out in the Discord. So go chat it up, go hang out, and they have Discord contests all the time. So a lot we can talk about, and a lot is happening in the Uno Mobile Esports community. But we're back in the April monthly final, and it's time to bring Katie back. Katie, I hope you enjoyed your break as well, because it was a doozy of a first half of the tournament.
I had to get up. I had to pace it out, breathe, do some woo-saws. There was some tension, some excitement. I was overwhelmed by everything we saw. And I think, Coach, we're in for a treat, because the semifinals, there's no way they disappoint.
No, exactly. Let's take a look back on the quarterfinals and see where these semifinalists came from, the adversity that they had to overcome. Don't worry, there's codes coming down the line. I see you all in chat, but let's look at the competition. Discard alls and wild cards were the name of the game. It was, do we save them to the end? Are we able to throw them down early and burn the rest of our action cards? Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing here, Katie, because really was a lot of nail biters, but it came down to who utilized their cards the best.
Well, it really felt like when it came to Group A, it was pretty quick and dirty for Allie to just get those 3. But then you moved on, Group B, into Group C, into Group D, became more and more and more stressful for all of these players. As we look right now through Group B, so many discard alls were deeply impactful to what happened in the game. Like, take a look here. Apple does it here in Group C, says, doesn't matter how many cards I have, I bet you didn't know they're all yellow. Throws that discard down, and there you go. Especially as well when we get into Group D. There was some great plays, but you said it best. It was those wilds, it was those discard alls that were the name of the game.
Yeah, and definitely some luck was to be had, but a lot of high-level plays from our players, which makes a lot of sense. As a reminder, so taking a look at their gameplay, these players all battled through qualifiers before they even got to the group stages of the finals, and there was a ton of qualifiers, and a lot of the people in the chat probably competed against them. So, again, you're only a few steps away from being on this main stage. Here it is. This is how every player moved on to their semifinals rounds. We've separated the players that already competed against each other in the group stages. Semifinals A and semifinals B. I think it's pretty even, Katie. Like, I don't think there's one semifinals that might have some stronger players in it. It's pretty even across the board. All 8 of these players were very strong in their respective rounds. And I think every single one of them at least got 2 wins, aside from our Group A second placer, which would be, I believe, Snafu down in semifinals B.
Look, Gojj, you know that I like to disagree with you just because it's fun, but I can't disagree with you on that assessment when it comes to these 2 semifinals groupings, because you're completely right. I don't think you could pick one that's better than the other because they have dominating forces in each of them. And, well, let's see who comes out on top for our first semifinal round on the board. Elizabeth, Chris, Bear, 1, and Allie all going at it. And, well, a +4 played nice and early.
Nice and early indeed. I see some people in chat saying, I'm Team Allie, I'm Team Chris. Type in whose team you're a part of right now, because this is the semifinals. If you get first or second, you're walking away with at least some cash because you're going to be playing in the final round of our April Community Cup Finals. But looking at the plays at hand, I mean, Allie with a ton of cards. Only Bear 1, aside from Allie, has a +4, so Chris might have the fewest cards, but not in a fantastic position.
Yeah, it's tough when you have the fewest, as you said, but none of them are really actionable cards you can do a lot with, especially not when you're being added to that and you didn't really get much out of it. So we'll see Allie trying to make a comeback, but right now, no one really in a premium position.
I know. A skip or 2 could come through from Allie to kind of start working their way back in, but right now it's just a matter of burn your cards, get some of those higher number cards maybe out just for the point totals at the end, about halfway through this round, and no one's really all that close. Liz and Chris nearly in identical situations, only reds and yellows, and they're all numbers in a reverse. I mean, this is a little bit of a slower paced game. This is one of those where you kind of hold your breath a little bit and wait, unless it stays red. Okay, wake up. Bear 1 on Uno and a +4, and I don't think anyone can do anything about it unless Chris draws a top deck blue skip.
Right onto Bear 1.
Doesn't matter. Yep, Lizzie's gonna play right into it.
Elizabeth doesn't know what they set in motion until the moment it skips, and they're like, thanks. We'll take it. Oh no, I saw that skip come out, and I was like, don't do it. Oh no.
I know. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, you have no idea. They've got the Uno. And again, that's what happens when no one plays any of their +4s or has any. Bear 1 had a free and clear walk to an Uno on a +4 wild. The only way they don't win with that card is if someone skips them. Unfortunately, it got skipped into them, allowing Bear 1 to grab the first victory. That's gotta feel good. You've got a little bit of some margin to work with. Having the first victory under your belt, you're now the player to beat. And yet again, Chris can't draw a wild off the rip. Lizzie with 2. Lizzie in the best position to win this, but you know anything can happen.
What we've seen before is someone who only had 2 +4 wilds and lost to Elizabeth, who
That's
actually
right.
made that play, chooses to use that first +4, will go into Chris's deck. But Bear 1, now what do you decide to do? We'll keep it on blues. Elizabeth happy to do
Watch
that
out
as well.
for
But
Allie.
Allie, yeah, Allie in a great position actually as well. But Bear forced to play that +4. Chris, oh no, why is it always Chris Gojj that this happens to?
Chris was already won. Okay, he won back in December. He's trying to make his way to the November grand finale by getting a win in 2023, but Chris is in trouble right now. Another massive draw for Chris, +14, and Allie still on Uno. Did save the day a little bit, Bear 1, by making sure that Allie drew a ton of cards. Yet again, back on Uno, and Lizzie will join Allie on Uno. Woo! This is going to be tough, especially with Bear 1 really having little that they can do.
Well, and there you go. If you play that too, it's a disaster. You have to play the 0 here. Bear 1 plays the 0, plays the smart move, forces Allie and Elizabeth. But Elizabeth getting that top deck draw of the 4 keeps him on an Uno.
See? Okay, +2 on Bear 1. Neither player can do anything, so again, another draw. We thought could have been a fast game will turn into a final 60-second game, and Chris is going to come barreling down, trying to catch up. They can afford another discard all. He will get there. Doesn't.
Now we know Elizabeth in first place. Allie vying for first, but has a little too many cards. Only 5 points for Elizabeth. But now take a look at that. That +2 switches Allie over into first. A nice play. But that discard all, if it can somehow get there, and it does. Oh, never mind. Bear 1, it goes the other way. The discard all comes out from Chris, presumably.
Chris.
There we go. But look at Elizabeth now. Back onto an Uno with 30 seconds. Back into first place.
Uno.
And we're going to go back to first place with Bear 1 because it's going to be an Uno with a 2.
Draw 2.
A +2 to Lizzie. Bear 1 poised to win this. Allie, theoretically, if you play this 3, it's Bear 1's. Bear 1, 1 victory. Bear 1, 2 victories. At the end of this, Bear 1's going to have to rename themselves to Bear 3. 3 victories, 3 up, 3 down.
That is incredible. Bear 1 has been playing this so well. And at least a decent amount of cards. Not everyone on a minimal amount. A couple folks grabbing some extra cards there before Bear 1 got that win. But wow, this is a little scary. This is decisive to start things off, but doesn't mean that we don't have a long road ahead of us.
You sound scared, Katie. That was great. Bear 1 has an opportunity to put this thing away. This could be one of the fastest semifinals we've ever seen in Uno Mobile Esports. If Bear 1 can drop another victory, that'll be 3 up, 3 down. And right now, not looking great, but Bear 1 wasn't looking that great. Yeah, true. Plenty of discard alls. Bear 1 wasn't looking that great last game and won that one. So anything can happen, regardless of how many +4s you have. Now Bear 1's able to find one and continuing to draw cards. Build this draw.
Yeah, does Chris force the +4? And does. Sends it over to green. Will impact Elizabeth with that 6. But Chris probably not the happiest. Not a bad position, especially if it stays on green or we just get into a reverse war. Probably not the happiest about having to use that. No! Oh, unless Allie just gets the discard all!
Allie with the sneaky win. Look, if I'm Bear 1, I ain't worried about that one. There's nothing you can do. You got a reverse in your hand. You want to get rid of them. They're pretty good, but they're not insane. Not comparatively to a wild or a skip, like the action cards that really change it up. At least not in my mind. So it's like, let's get rid of that. That's a lot of points, and let's send it back the other way and make sure Chris continues to drown a little bit. Unfortunately, Allie had 5 cards. They're all blue and a discard all. It's the way it goes. Allie grabs the victory.
That was impressive. The second time we've seen someone throw down that discard all with a heavy amount of cards, all the same color. I love that is in this. And yeah, Chris going right for it. But look, I've seen this game before. The 2 +4s makes me nervous now because it does not mean you're going to win.
Yeah, but it's a perfect setup for Chris if it can go to red. Chris might have to burn both in order. Bear One's going to have to draw 12 here, and it goes to green. So Chris can decide, do I want a top deck draw because I've got a nice lead? That's what I would do. But Chris might just want to throw down another +4 and make Lizzie draw 4. Likes to draw.
Yeah, I think the safe play and not a bad one by any means. A nice discard for Bear One, but unfortunately, Chris now not getting that top deck luck that they might be hoping for. And let's change it over to blue that Chris also doesn't have. Maybe getting a little sick of this top deck luck.
That's the thing. That's the thing. At some point, you just go, I'm just going to play it. Let's get rid of it. Chris is playing very patient right now, and I appreciate that. Here's the +2. Do you draw 2 instead of 1? No. You're going to play your +4. It's going to stack to 6. Lizzie's right back up to around 10 cards or so. Chris back close to the lead. Of course, fighting with Allie here. Allie, the only other player besides Bear One to grab a victory thus far, and it was incredibly decisive. Look at that, 352-point win by Allie.
And Chris still could have played that 3, decides not to. Does get reversed back, can hit. Actually, that discard all does just that. Now Chris back in a pretty good position. And I ended up liking that play, Gojj, because it does put Elizabeth and Allie in worse positions than Chris is in now by far, especially if it stays red.
Pay attention to that. Chris, again, showcasing why he was a winner. Drew a +2 that he could have played. Elect to not play it. Save it. Protect yourself from somebody trying to stack +2 on you and send it to the next. There's a yellow discard all. You know Bear One has no more yellows, so you want to keep it yellow. Allie will do just that. Tough draw for Bear One. 45 seconds here, Katie. And it's going to go +4 over to Bear One. Chris still in a great spot and could sneak his way in if he can get it off of blue.
Does he play it? He does finally play that +2 red. I think a good decision. Case in point, brings him into first. The discard all comes through. Can you finally get some top deck luck? Maybe no. Unfortunately, not this time.
Green is good for Chris, can play, but has an action card, so not in first. They both do. Unfortunately, Allie has a slightly lower card. There's the blue coming in, so Chris should be able to get here. 5 seconds left. Skips. Chris in the lead, and with the skip, it reverses back unless they move crazy quickly. That should be a victory for Chris. Almost, Allie.
At the last second. With the reverse into the reverse, Gojj. They had 2 reverses. It got rid of that action card from Elizabeth, which was less point total than what they had at the top of the deck. Able to steal it away at the very last second. That was an incredible play. And, well, Bear One, you were 2 up, 2 down, but now you got multiple players on the board.
Look, I got that. Elizabeth won that, by the way. Katie, you saw it. I was lost in the sauce. I thought Allie was going to get her reverse off as well and win it at 5. But it was Lizzie that got to 5 points that beat out Chris at 6. That I got to see that replay later. Somebody bookmark that. I know our team's on it. We'll take a look at that later. Make sure we call it out. That was a nutty win by Elizabeth. Snuck in there at the last second. But another round and another chance to end semifinals A if Bear One can grab this victory.
Yeah, Bear One starting out really strong, just not able to find that pace in the second 2 games. Elizabeth, do you play that +4? Well, you need to. Throws down the red, and, well, Allie, unfortunately for you, that'll be a nice +12. Bear One, now the only one with that +4 wild to use if they so choose.
Elizabeth in another fantastic spot. Doesn't have a wild, but nobody's seemingly taking off any color that doesn't have. Chris all yellow all day. To reverse back on Lizzie, a smart move. Elizabeth in trouble. Decent luck. Bear One following in kind. This is kind of Bear One's strategy. Just bide your time, sneak a card in here or there, save your +4s. Will he elect to play it this time?
And does so. And considering some of the top draw luck we saw last time around, maybe it is better to just play that +4. But Elizabeth says, I'll take it. Happy to be on an Uno with that green. So we'll see what ends up happening. Allie, what do you play? And sends it to a red. So unless you get that top deck that works in your favor, and you do not, Elizabeth now 1 away from Uno.
Yeah, there's like no cards that are red on anybody's hand besides Allie. So this is a great time to kind of run the table a little bit. Goes to 6 there, which Chris can change to yellow. Certainly love to see that. Chris and Bear 1 both in a great spot. 57 seconds left. Lizzie back on Uno, but really hasn't been in a position to win this. Unless it's a crazy lucky draw. That's not a lucky draw. That's a skip. See ya. Gonna keep rocking and rolling. Bear 1 gets rid of most of their action cards. Katie, 40 seconds left, and Allie's back into the conversation. But unfortunately, that discard all is way too enticing not to play when you can discard 7 cards. Given that it was green, Elizabeth on the board with 2 wins out of nowhere, back-to-back. Tied up with Bear 1 at the top. Either player, they win this next one, Katie. That's all she wrote for semifinals A.
Does Elizabeth do 3 in a row? The 3-peat, back-to-back Uno semifinal champ. I believe it. Elizabeth's been feisty.
I think it's certainly possible. I mean, that's the thing. And I think that's the nature of the beast of discard alls, right? Like, when you have 7 of the same color, you just got to play it, not thinking that, oh, this could be exactly what the player next to me needs. But great effort regardless. And again, Bear 1 and I believe Elizabeth on last point, really. This could be the last game of this semifinals. And it's interesting to think about, too, because Allie had such a massive victory. We're going to see a massive draw here from Elizabeth, so maybe this is a bit unlikely, but Allie has such a massive victory. I thought for sure Allie's at least making the finals. Not first in this round, at least second, but there's 2 players on 2 wins, which means Bear 1 and Elizabeth are moving on if either of them win.
Yeah, and that's got to be very concerning for Chris and Allie. Elizabeth not super thrilled with what just happened. And we'll have it swing over to Bear 1. A discard all for blue. Just have it for red as well. So if they can maybe get those colors in their favor, you could get to that solo +4 wild pretty quickly. Now, well, green, not going to help too much there, Gojj, but plays the wild.
Wow. Hey, look, I can't critique a strategy that's worked for them, at least for 2 games. Bear 1's still technically in the lead. Again, after 2 wins, 306 points. Allie's at 1 win at 352, but it might not matter. Allie has to grab a victory here, and if Allie's able to do that, I think Allie secures their spot to the finale just with 2 wins because they will likely win every tiebreaker. But look, only time will tell. Let's let the players play, and we'll see what happens. Lizzie trying to get rid of some of their cards, still at the top by a lot, most cards, but Wild's pretty solid. Everyone poised to win this if it goes to a discard all. Nope, not yet.
Well, and interestingly, Chris earlier could have done a discard all with the yellows and been down to about 2 and chose not to. But now Bear 1, that was what they were hoping for. That 1 beats out the 2, though, for Allie if time runs out. But it goes to that red. So we swing over to Chris. You got to pull, and it goes to Allie with the win. 2 wins apiece for Bear 1, Elizabeth, and Allie.
So that's the thing. It's like, you don't necessarily know they have a red, and you know Bear 1 doesn't have a red because they played their discard all. So it's actually a pretty smart, red wild card. Unfortunately, you can't account for Allie. And I said it right before Allie won. Allie now is at 2 wins, and both were fairly decisive. The first was the biggest victory we've seen all day today. Allie has most likely secured her spot to the finale no matter what happens and who wins, unless something monstrous happens for some of our other players here to tie up. I mean, look at this point total, 492 points after 2. So if Bear 1 wins this or Elizabeth wins this, Allie's walk into the finale as well. Of course, Chris is the wild card, yet to grab a win.
Yet to grab a win, maybe a good opportunity, really the only opportunity at this point to start shaking things up, because you have to win this or it's all over for you. Throws in the reverse right back over, uses that 5. Happy to discard all. Elizabeth 1 away from that Uno position. And blue, very useful for her.
Oh no, Bear 1. This will be 16 to Bear 1. Bear 1's been on the brink of winning the semifinals since the very beginning of the games. 1-2 back-to-back. And now he's drawn 16. Elizabeth's on Uno. Chris is 1 away. The only hope is that Bear 1 draws a bunch of +4s.
Gojj, the play. Elizabeth changes it to red to make people think she has red. Then Allie +4s onto the blue.
Insane.
Plays the 6, and Elizabeth says, "Thank you for falling into my trap. I will happily take that win."
Crazy.
Elizabeth with 3. Wow, what a win. What a great play that was.
This is why we bluff. I called it out earlier. I said, watch out for the bluffs. When you throw down a wild and you change it to a color you don't have, people don't always suspect that you're doing that bluff. They don't call you on your bluff. And because of that, Elizabeth is walking into the finale. They had the lowest amount of points after 2. So Elizabeth was on the precipice of not making it. If anyone else won, Lizzie's not making the finale, but Elizabeth walks away with it because of the bluff. That was nuts. And it's because of that crazy play that we almost didn't even see her win. I'm excited to see it in these replays.
Yeah, it really was incredibly impressive how she played that out earlier, and especially those mind games now. I mean, you can't always anticipate the color they're going to pick, but the bluff plays off. A great poker face out of Elizabeth right now. Those discard alls. Chris really just having a tough time getting anything going, Gojj.
Yeah, it was tough. Everybody was playing hyper aggressive, and Chris wasn't getting very lucky. And there's a play from Ali to grab a victory. Chris couldn't get anything going, didn't grab a win, but we still love Chris in this house. And again, a winner back in December. Unfortunately, doesn't grab a win here in 2023. Not yet. Plenty of months down the line that Chris could theoretically try to qualify for. But the name of the game was everybody else pretty much in the semifinals. Everyone on the cusp of walking into the finale, and it was Lizzie that does it. And there's one of Elizabeth's wins, finding a 4 for free because of the discard all. But then there was some of these moments where you're getting stacked with cards and other people are grabbing wins, and you kind of fall under the radar. And then all of a sudden, there's the plus 16 that just walks their way into the victory. Elizabeth, 3 wins, 3 up, 3 down, walking into the finale. Who's walking with Elizabeth? It's Ali, because of the decisive first victory that Ali had. The best win of the day at 352 points, I believe, from their first win or something close to it. Ali's walking away with the tiebreaker victory over Bear 1. Katie, Bear 1 went back-to-back first 2 games and still won't be making it to the grand finals. But shout out to Bear 1 and Chris for playing today. Shout out to you guys for making it to the semifinals. Elizabeth, Ali, they're at least walking away with some cash, which is exciting.
It's not over until it's over, Gojj. And look, Bear 1 couldn't be anything but confident if the first 2 rounds you win them both, but just nothing seemingly going their way after that, and that has got to sting. But semis B about to start up. Snafu, Lumps, Corey, and Cristiano. I cannot wait to see them play, because you know some of these players very, very aggressive in their earlier groups.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see how semifinals B plays. Every time you mix and match different players, everybody's kind of playing styles. They combat each other. Some of them complement each other, and you might see somebody win. You weren't expecting. Elizabeth, one of those. But hey, look, we've got a giveaway coming soon. It is coming right after this next series of games, so stay tuned. It's coming in shortly. A couple more giveaway codes coming down the line, but one right around the corner. So stay tuned after semifinals B. That's when it's coming. You'll be able to type it in and earn some free diamonds just for hanging out with us here in the main chat, in the main channels. And speaking of those channels, we've got a ton of live channels right now. I think we're live on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and our brand new Twitch account with Uno Mobile Esports. Go check out Uno Mobile and all of those socials and follow/subscribe in all of those places. We're taking a look at all of those different chats as well. We'll shout out some of the people dropping their predictions. Speaking of predictions, semifinals B is here, and look at our Easter collection here. This is nice. We got a new collection to show off here in semifinals B.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's pastel beauty, complements our wonderful bunny ears flawlessly.
This is why we're here.
Yes.
We're talking wild ears. We're talking the Easter month. We've been celebrating all of May. This is why we've been wearing it. I appreciate Cristiano for putting it on main stage for us. I love it.
Yeah, so do I. Looks beautiful. We'll swing over to yellow, though, and get a little worried about that. I think Lumps, taking a look, doesn't have a yellow here, does decide to play that +4, which means bad news for Snafu. Nothing to really counter it with. We'll have to take that. But also, Corey, you're going to have to pull from the top deck. And, well, you get a reverse. That is exactly what you could hope for.
Right now, I'm looking at Lumps, of course, on Uno with a 5, but question is, will we even let them get there? I mean, Snafu is going to +2 if it stays green. Likelihood of that happening probably fairly low. Corey can play this. So we'll run blue, which is really good for Cristiano if it can stay there. Goes back to yellow. Corey now going to be on Uno if Cristiano elects to hold on to this.
Well, yeah, if you play that +4, Corey, unfortunately for you, you will be picking up that +4 here in just a moment. Lumps and Cristiano still in pretty good positions to be able to make something happen, but Snafu will need to change it off of blue, and well, that's bad news for both of them because neither of them have yellow, Gojj.
That's the nature of the beast. You got to keep changing the colors and try to mix up and match against your opponents. It's working so far for Snafu to keep them in the game. So far, so good, actually. Cristiano finally changing it back to blue. Lumps could go down to 2 here if it stays, and it doesn't. Snafu changing to green and then to red. We're swinging all across the board right now, and now it's Cristiano back on Uno. 40 seconds left and a 0 in hand. You're feeling good. Corey's right in the same direction, though.
But unless you change to that blue, yes, you want to get rid of it because you don't have time left. Oh, but you don't know that you're walking into disaster. And, well, Corey says, you know what? Thank you for that, Lumps. Thank you very much. Let me just throw down this 6. I'll run out the time because why not? Corey, I was so worried that it was going to go the other way, but that +2, wow, huge.
Remember, Corey was a dynamic force in their group, and coming out the gates early with a victory like this, all signs are rooting towards Corey. If you're in chat, type in who you think's gonna win. My bet's on Corey. You win the first one, you win them all. This could be 3 up, 3 down. I need somebody to fight back.
Well, look, hey, though, might want to slow our roll a little bit because Bear won 2 in a row in the semis and didn't end up qualifying to get into the final. So it's never over until it's over. And now Lumps actually looking at pretty much everyone all with a +4. So this could be really scary for whoever starts that +4 at some point. Snafu now, though, chooses to draw a discard all from Lumps to keep things on yellow. So do you play it? Nope, you take it on over to red, which, well, no one has except for Cristiano.
Nice and slow here to start. Everyone going to hold on to their wild cards. Back to the traditional cards off of our April collection of wild years. Continue to swing around. Lumps in a perfect position to win this. If it could go to blue, we could get a couple skips. Maybe force the +4 out. We will force the +4 out. Corey is going to hurt because of that, right? That's a +16 to Corey. But Lumps is still on Uno with a wild card. Likely walks away with this.
I don't see how they don't.
There's a skip. I mean, if Cristiano changes it to blue here, Snafu could skip her +2 on Lumps and they can't do anything about it. But why would they? They do bluff, but go to yellow. I think Lumps has got this in the bag.
Yeah, how do you not? And you now have those 18 cards added onto your score when you're about to win, and that's exactly what Lumps does.
Wow.
Sends it to a red just to tease Cristiano at the end. Says, you know what? I'll send this to red, but you don't get to use it to win because I just did. I told you, it's not over till it's over, Gojj.
Look, and you called it out there, and I want to emphasize it. That was a massive win. That +18 or +16 that was dropped on Corey down at the bottom. Lumps loves that, right? Because they know they're going to grab this victory unless somebody does something drastic, and you're netting a ton of points, and you need those points in order to win those tiebreakers, which can be very tough and very, very close. So every card matters down to the final straw. So Lumps with 1, Corey with 1. My bet's still on Corey, but anything can happen. Snafu and Cristiano have been playing fantastic all day today, too. So likely could see repeats of what we saw in Group C or D. Every player grabbing wins. Only time will tell.
We're in a scary spot, too, because everyone with a +4 again. So who is going to eat that +16 this time around? And it's Corey. No, please. It's Chris all over again, Gojj. Please.
Oh, Corey, I'm sorry, my friend. That's going to be +18 headed your direction. That's, it's one of those things you just can't do anything about. You're just going to have to take all the cards and see what you can do with it. Doesn't go blue, so at the very least Snafu's not winning immediately. Might still win. Lumps also down to 2 cards, but it's on yellow. So Cristiano will likely be in the best position if no one gets decent draws.
Does Does
You
get
like
that
a
well,
wild.
though. Changes it blue, yeah, which will be great if you keep it there. Lump's not able to change that. Cristiano will play, but Corey, you don't want to keep it on blue because Snafu gave that hand, and well, doesn't matter at that point. Thank you, Snafu. Very happy to. I'm surprised. Maybe there wasn't an option within all those cards to change it, but that's tough.
I'm telling you, and I feel it. It makes my skin itch a little bit when you see the discard all in your hand and you know you can discard 8 cards with it. It's like almost impossible not to just fulfill that urge. Like, just take the intrusive thought and run with it. Put the discard all down. Get rid of all your cards. Unfortunately, that's exactly what our player Snafu wanted you to do. Able to walk away with a victory. Okay. Everybody wake up a little bit. 3 players, 3 wins. Only 1 player hasn't grabbed the victory thus far. So anybody's game. You were right, Katie.
Anybody's game. And well, the +4 is coming out early. Now Cristiano, the only one who doesn't have a win. Also, the only one with that wild at his disposal for the time being. But for right now, most of these players, no one in a prime position just yet. No crazy amount of discard alls, unless I say that Snafu has a lot to discard if they choose to. Puts him in a much better position after picking up that +8.
Yeah, no reds to write home about besides Corey's, so it does go red. Corey will only be able to benefit it for 1, but a couple skips coming across the board is great for Cristiano. If they're not careful, Cristiano could go down to Uno +4. But they got to get it off green. And they
but he
do.
switches it to blue.
Exactly what Cristiano wanted. Goes blue, is going to walk away with the victory right here, right now, unless Corey can skip, which they can't. Cristiano grabs the win, and Katie, every player on the board, every player with a victory. What a way to start off semifinals B.
Yeah, no kidding. Everyone coming out of the gates red hot, playing so very well. And you know, the moment that went blue, we both sat there and we were like,
yep,
everybody's about to be on the board. And that's exactly what happened. A really nice win out of Cristiano.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited to see if he can grab the second win of semifinals B, because this is it's a little bit different than our semifinals A. It hasn't been any kind of like momentum swings. It's every single person grabbing every single win. But we're back. Cristiano's perspective. We've got our fantastic April collection on your screen right now. It's the reason we're wearing these ears. I love that we get to match the cars this time around to celebrate April and, of course, celebrate the April finals. Again, you can check out the Wild Ears collection in store right now. Match us and the stream. Looking at Wilds right now, Cristiano the only one without the +4, so likely in the worst position, but doesn't stop all of our players. Sometimes they find a way.
Sometimes they find a way. Sometimes, look, we've seen people get a lot of cards into their deck, and they end up okay at the end of it. We'll see. We'll have that discard and has that red and yellow, but this is where things could start to potentially get scary. Oh, here we go. Yep. Well, it could have been worse though, because if it starts with Corey, it is much more painful here for Cristiano.
Well,
so 6 not bad.
But it's blue because Lumps wants to win. Gives Corey a +4 wild to finish. Could see the reverse back into Corey for Corey to win. If you see the 4, Lumps wins. Snafu said, I'm not risking it. +4 green. No one wins, but a perfect challenge from Lumps means he stays on Uno. It
goes to Corey no matter what.
Only has to draw 1. Corey still wins. Tough try. Very good try from Lumps. And honestly, a very smart play from our player at the top. But Corey always wins. If you have a +4 wild, you always win. I've only seen a player not win with a +4 wild in their hand at the final card if somebody else gets to play theirs first. That's it. Like, you always win with the +4 wild at the end. You've got to force the other players to burn those cards early. And Corey grabs his second victory, the first player to grab 2 victories in semifinals B.
Well, you gotta be a sigh of relief if you're Corey, right? You come out of the gate hot, you get that first win, and then loss. And now you're right back into it. And look at those cards. Are you kidding me? But look at Lumps as well.
Both are in a great spot. I mean, of course, 3 wilds, let alone having 2 +4s, especially if you can burn out some of these kind of basic face cards here, number cards, which he's able to do so. Corey's already set up to win this thing if no one's going to start skipping. Yellow comes in. Cristiano's either going to draw or burn the wild. Corey will go down to 3 cards and likely use his wild. Keep the +4, though.
and we'll see. Does go ahead and bring it back to red. If it stays there, the possibility gets a skip.
Huge skip.
Another skip, though. That's massive. Puts Cristiano in potential position here. You're not on red anymore. Does Corey burn the +4?
I think you have to. You have two of them. Goes to red, which is a smart move, but Lumps will answer in kind, but still be behind in action economy. Think about who goes first, right? So Snafu's going to draw some extras. It's not going to end up mattering. We just got to make sure it doesn't go to blue, which it won't.
Right.
Red. Cristiano would have to draw something crazy here. Now Uno +4 wild. We've seen this position before, and we know how it ends. A +4 wild to Cristiano. Lumps feels fantastic right now, but it won't matter. Cristiano's going to draw.
Wow.
Corey grabs 3 wins. I told you. I called it. I would say I'm the master, but Corey is the master. 3 wins. First win, and then the final 2. Corey walking into the grand finale of our April competition, joining the likes of our 2 players from semifinals A. The question is, and I'd have to look back, who wins the tiebreaker out of the other 3 players that are tied at 1 win on best score to join Corey in the finals? We'll see. Let's take a look back on the storyline that is Corey and the rest of our players. See how they did in the semifinals. I thought it was going to be a game 9 situation, Katie, where like everyone would grab 2 wins. It was so close, but Corey got some really, really good luck, especially the last round, but the last 2 rounds to grab those victories. And I feel for Lump. If Lumps didn't qualify, I feel so bad because they had some amazing luck as well and just couldn't quite carry it to the finish line.
I think Corey was like, I'll let them think that they have a chance here. All right, everyone's got to win. Cool. Let me just cook my 2 in a row. Let me just get my 2 in a row and close this out. But yeah, I agree. That'd be an absolute heartbreaker if Lumps isn't able to make it in second place. But that's it for the semis, Gojj. Now it's time to find out who is going with Corey to the finals.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who it is because as we kind of finish up these replays, let's take a look. There's Corey's kind of one of their final wins at the very last second. Lumps had a wild +4. Here's the scoreboard. It was Lumps. We love Snafu. We love Cristiano. Thanks for playing. But a breath of relief, a sigh of relief for Lumps because Lumps played so well throughout all of those games and was just a point or 2 away from winning a couple different times. And will walk to the finale with, of course, Corey. So we have our grand finals players, our final 4. They're here from semifinals A. Of course, we've got Allie, we've got Elizabeth. From semifinals B, we've got Corey, and we've got Lumps. Who's gonna take it, Katie?
I don't know. It might be recency bias, but Corey seems so decisive in the wins that they have. But at the same time, Elizabeth is really scrappy when they play as well. We've seen some crazy endings out of them. Speaking of things like that +4 wild, stealing it away from someone else in one of those semifinal matches. So I don't know. I want to say Corey, but I really feel like it's anyone's final to take.
Anyone's final to take, indeed. All 4 players played fantastic today. They're all going to be walking away with some cash. They made it to the finals. Even 4th place will walk away with $500. So excited to see what happens there. But if you want to get involved at home, you're waiting and you're wondering, can I play in this? Yes, you can. All you have to do is go download Uno Mobile for free right now on the iOS or Android Google Play stores. And of course, go follow Uno Mobile on all their major socials. We're live on 4 different live streaming platforms, and they post news updates on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, etc. So go check out Uno Mobile. You can type in !socials, and you can also type in !download to pull up all of that information. And it should be in the pinned comment down below if you're watching this live, or the description if you're watching the VOD. So thanks for joining us today on the live stream thus far. The grand finals is right around the corner. But Katie, before we get there, the chat's been asking for it. We got to give them something for hanging out with us for so long. Another giveaway for everyone at home. If you're paying attention, here's your code. 4EC winners. 4EC winners. Go type in the code right now. Go to your account, click that cogwheel down to redeem. Type in this code. 4EC winners. Go type it in right now. All of your diamonds and shields and otherwise. Actually, I think this is an even bigger one. This is 1,000 diamonds 8 shields, and you get an Uno gold scratch ticket for this one. So go type it in. You're gonna want to go get some extra prizes for hanging out so long with us today. Katie, the finals is here. The giveaways here. We're having so much fun in the booth. And again, it's been chaos, but I got to remind everybody at home that we've got another giveaway right around the corner. So stay tuned for the finals. See who's going to be walking away with some cash. We'll give you some prizes if you do.
Look, this is so fun. And let's take a look, I think, at that pricing, right? You said it, right? Especially all the folks going into the finals. They've got that cash on lock no matter what. But it's that 3,000 with 10,000 diamonds for first place. You get that incredible badge alongside it. Look, at the end of the day, everyone here, our final four, Gojj, they have played so phenomenally to get to this point. So you're walking away with something, but it's that first place and second place that they're really aiming for.
That's right. First place, second place, a lot of cash, and especially you really want to earn that spot to the November grand finale at the end of the year. It's the culmination of everything we've been building up. It's the top 2 players from every single month get to work their way into that grand finale, which will have a prize pool of $10,000. So here we go. The grand finale is here, Katie. We got to ramp it up because this is it. They're all walking away with some cash, but they're not walking away with a spot to the grand finale unless they make it to the top 2.
Here we go. All of these players, incredible at Uno Mobile. They have the moves. They have the bluffs. They know exactly how to win, how to come out on top. But which one is just a little bit better? We're about to find out.
All right, a couple skips. Lumps again in a really good spot. No +4s, but 2 wilds. Elizabeth and Allie are the only +4s on the board, as you can see. And I like Elizabeth's strategy, especially first game. Play slow, save the +4. Elizabeth, of all people, knows how strong that +4 can be as the final card. So they're going to play a little bit cautious here until somebody gets to Uno.
Yeah, and Lumps just biding their time, figuring out exactly what they want to do, changes it to red. Still not necessarily particularly helpful, does draw that 6. Because, yes, you want to hold on to that, but look at Allie. With just that yellow, and it gets changed to yellow from Corey as well. That could be huge. But again, Lump says, no. We're going back to red, and we're keeping it there.
And Elizabeth's going to play really slow with the +4, holds on to it. Allie is not going to do the same, and smartly is able to change the color. It does go to yellow, which is good for Corey, but Corey does have to draw the cards. So, but draws 2 discard alls in blue and yellow. Almost even a better spot than he was before he had to draw.
And it sends the blue over, which guarantees after Allie gets the cards that you can discard those, and then it's just a game of who sends the yellow to Corey first.
I think it goes to yellow here, because it's going to go... Oh, we go green here from Lumps on the discard all. Elizabeth isn't able to play.
I'm nervous.
Stays green. 60 seconds left. Corey only has yellows. Able to change it, Katie, but it's going to go back to blue and then probably to green. It's not over yet. Deep breath here. We're not in the final round yet, unless we can play a card.
Oh, unless you just get a +4. What a top draw.
Goes yellow, which is huge for Corey, except Corey's going to have to draw 8. This is not even close to over, albeit there's only 30 seconds left, and we go green. Lumps likely in the best position, as we can see the medals, but still anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and now it's a battle. Lumps loses first for just a second, is able to get it back. And poor Allie forced to draw a card. On top of that, we swing back over. You can get rid of the 7 now, puts Lumps in even better of a position. A nice skip. You get the discard all. But, well, that just puts Lumps in an even better position with just 5 seconds left. And you can throw down the 8 for Lumps with the 2. You might as well say congratulations there, Gojj. Because Lumps, wow, all those yellows, so crucial. Those reds, beautiful job out of Lumps. That is all the first game on the board.
All that needed to happen for Lumps not to win that is for somebody to get it to yellow and keep it on yellow. Lumps couldn't play the yellows, would draw a couple and then run out. And everybody kept changing the color because they were scared that somebody was going to go out of cards. Lumps then was able to kind of slow it down a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to burn my time, play my cards correctly. Didn't have any action cards at the end. Lumps walks away with the victory based on the time running out and the lowest amount of points. Massive victory for Lumps. Fantastic way to start the grand finale.
They were panicking. I was panicking. It was stressful, and Lumps came out on top. You see him on our screen right now. Does have one wild to use, but only 1+4, and that is across the aisle for Allie. So not a bad position, though, for Lumps to be in. Definitely workable, especially since you could get that 3 on there, get rid of it. But, well, now you're in Uno reverse, so you got to wait for it to go all the way back around, but you can still get that 7 down.
Yeah, sometimes this is a bit dangerous to just let the cards fall as they may. Everybody just kind of playing blues, not thinking, and all of a sudden Corey's in a massive advantage position with only 2 cards and a wild to play with. Lumps will draw the red early, and I don't mind this play, just given the fact that it's not a +4. It's not that much protection. Doesn't go for the bluff, instead shows their hand. Both players do. Corey on Uno on blue. No one able to change it. No draw. Corey just walks into the finish line. Sure, I'll take the win. You guys can't change the cards? Yeah, that's one for me. I'm on the board in the grand finale, walking away with potentially a ton of cash if you can walk away with first place. Nice win and a fast win.
That was maybe the most, like, just casual, low-stakes win I've seen. Everyone was just playing the color. We're just going around. It's not getting very crazy. And Corey's like, oh, nice stroll in the park. I'll just throw this 5 down. I'm done. I was like, okay. I feel like everything else has been so high octane, and then Corey just walked that one in.
It's the nature of not having action cards, right? Like, nobody could do anything. There was no weird strategies that somebody could have pivoted around to try to mess up Corey. It's just a matter of the cards. Now, we got plenty of action cards this time around. Tons of reverses, skips, +4s, discard alls. This one's going to be a little bit more chaotic, if I can tell.
Yeah, and it's going to hurt Lumps here in just a second because Corey, not afraid to burn one of those wilds very early on, forces the wilds out of Allie and Elizabeth, which is a great play. Lumps, who is the only other one with a win, Gojj, now in a really rough position.
Yeah, +4 is coming out, +12 on Lumps. Needs some massive discard alls here. It's a 7 across.
Reverse.
Nice reverse.
Uno.
Yeah.
Reverse.
But if Elizabeth reverses it back,
Doesn't.
But doesn't. Makes the wise decision.
That was almost a crucial mistake. Luckily, these players know exactly what they're doing. The problem is, as it goes to blue, Allie's going to have to draw. Elizabeth goes to Uno here.
Draw 4.
Wow.
And it should stay blue. Likely, there could be a skip come through from Corey.
Reverse.
Oh, no. Gonna reverse instead of hold on to it. So it's going to go the other way. Lumps, do you know you need to change it? What am I saying? Lumps knows they need to change it. Lumps on top of it. Lumps is a next level player. Lizzie keeps getting lucky with the draws, and it should skip right back on blue. Lizzie with the win. Lumps was trying, but Corey's going to hand out a victory there, keeping it on blue. That's the battle of the skips. That's the nature of the beast.
I'm telling you, Elizabeth is scrappy. They know they are getting down and dirty in these Uno cards. We saw it in the groups, we saw it in the semi, and we saw it now. Elizabeth may be the scrappiest player in this final, or maybe even in the entire tournament for this Community Cup, because no matter what, it's tooth and nail, and they find a way to win, and I love that.
It's the nature of the action economy, right? You always want to have some of those action cards held towards the end so you can try to finesse your way to the finish in a non-traditional means. That skip war, as some people call it, is a perfect place to burn cards, not let any of the other players burn, and keep it a color that you would like. So it worked out perfectly for Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth's on the board with the best win thus far, setting herself up well to potentially walk away with, at the very least, 1,000 for second place, if not win the whole thing.
Ooh, but this is big for Allie, the only one who doesn't have a win, because you do have that +4 that you can use, and it goes to green, which is exactly where you want it to be able to get rid of that +2. But Elizabeth also now in a power position as well.
Reverse.
Yeah, I mean, if we can go to yellow here, Allie'd be feeling good. Gonna go ahead and burn it. I don't mind it. It will make sure Elizabeth has to burn hers as well. So both are on Uno. Lumps yet again with a ton of cards.
Draw cards.
It's not on red. And the question is, do you believe Allie in saying, okay, that is the card, the color that Allie has? We think Allie might have a yellow, or was she bluffing? A lot of players have bluffed.
Ooh, but a nice +2 from Allie. We'll see.
Reverse.
The Uno reverse comes in, but do you keep it on to a green? No, Allie. Everyone's so close. Now it's Corey's turn to maybe retake the lead.
Not able to play still. No, really not a lot of action cards at all, which means we just got to kind of get lucky with the colors or some of our players not thinking about it. Still plenty of time on the board, but it's still anyone's game. Yes, Corey's in the lead, but Corey might not be able to play for a while if he can't get lucky on some of these draws.
Yeah, well, you will get the reverse if it stays on that green. He does have that play, and now you have the 2 discard alls. But there's also a big discard all potential for Elizabeth as well with that blue. But unfortunately, well, Corey just can't seem to make anything work here.
Okay.
The reverse will come in.
A red is not great for Elizabeth, but she can match the discard all. Now you're getting rid of 2+2s. So interesting play there, but you want to be on Uno in the final 60 seconds. Down to the final 2 cards, and it's on blue. Ali could change to green, and Corey could grab a victory, and that's exactly what happens. Corey snags a victory yet again, right from underneath Ali, who had a shot to take one. But no, Corey goes up with another victory. What a massive win, and that's gotta feel good, especially when there were so many times you could finish off that game, and you were just a card or 2 away and could never find it. It does sneak in at the very end.
And what I love about the rounds we've had that don't have a lot of those action cards, maybe don't have a lot of wilds to work with, is that you can kind of see the tension mounting with all the players as they're hoping to get that lucky top card draw. Oh, wow. But what a great win out of Corey.
Hey, there is a poll going on in our YouTube chat right now. Who do you think is going to win this? Corey is one game away. Can he do it? Go click who you think is going to win it. And if you're in any of our other chats, type in the chat right now who you think is going to win. I've been shouting out Corey all day today. I'm still standing behind my man, but it's not over yet. And these players are going to make sure that's the case.
Well, Elizabeth, though, you do kind of want to figure out if someone's going to reverse it at some point because, well, honestly, Corey, actually, you're in a terrible spot. Everyone with the +4s, and now you can't do anything. You hit the +2, but Elizabeth says, doesn't matter. I have a +4. See you later. Corey, maybe some potential there, but Elizabeth, seemingly out of nowhere, just slides on in and says, yeah, Corey, that's nice. You got 2 wins, but I do too.
And I think Elizabeth might have better score totals. That was a massive victory very quickly. So a lot of people still had a sizable amount of cards. And she pulled off a +6 at the very end, holding on to that +4. This has been Elizabeth's strategy all day. Can I get to the final card being a +4? And so far, she's been able to. She's been... I've got to stop. Hold my... Look at Corey. The game wants to... 3 +4s? Corey? I
don't know. It's rigged for money or views, but what is that?
I love Elizabeth. I think Elizabeth still had a shot, but with 3 +4s in their hand to start, if Corey doesn't win this, I'm going to have to eat a shoe on broadcast.
I will also eat a shoe in solidarity because what in the world?
Hold on.
Wait.
Draw 4.
Corey's down to only 1 now. We burned too quickly.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's holding on to theirs, but they give him blue. Corey should win it right here. Now, we gotta wait. This is match point. This is it. No one can do anything. A +4 on lumps here means nobody could play +4.
Wow.
Corey is your Uno Mobile Wildcard Series Community Cup April winner with massive luck and massive strategy.
Wow.
Corey walks away to the finish line. No shoes eaten. Corey, congratulations, my friend. I've been cheering you on all day today. Whether it was luck or strategy, you always made it work. Huge win. $3,000 in the pocket for Corey.
Can we respect that Corey won groups? He won his groups in Group D. He won his semi, and he won the fight. He won every single round he played in.
That's right. That's right. Why not? Hey,
Excuse
if
me?
you're gonna win $3,000, you're gonna win it in a masterful fashion like that. That was a masterclass in Uno Mobile all across the board, from strategy all the way to luck. You need both to win these competitions, and Corey certainly had both. Let's take a look back on Corey's journey and the recap, the replays here in the grand finale. It was a chance that Corey could run away with it, and then everyone started netting wins, Katie. And again, I was afraid we might have gone all the way to the distance, all the way to the finish line with everyone grabbing 2. But Corey snagged 2 back-to-back, and the last one was insane.
No, those were some incredible plays out of Corey. Not only do you have the luck going your way in a lot of these situations with good early decks, nice top draws, whether it's the reverses or the color changes from other players on the board, but also just the really high level plays mentally to either bluff against people or try and trip them up or remember what they're working with to come out on top. And look at that. Corey with the 3 wins, but Elizabeth in second place with 482 score. Those 2 wins were gigantic for Elizabeth.
Yeah, and it didn't end up mattering, Ray, because I grabbed 2 wins, so it didn't matter how big those wins were, but still something to write home about that in 2 wins, almost had the same score as Corey. Corey is our winner, $3,000 richer, but Elizabeth played insane all day today. We've got to give her flowers where it's due. Lizzie, congratulations on $1,000 as well. Masterclass in Uno Mobile from our finalists here, and Lumps, Allie, both an amazing day. And here's their journey through the bracket. We can see Allie, of course, winning Group A, making it into semifinals A, and grabbing that second place finish with a massive tiebreaker victory, making it into our grand finale. And of course, Lumps had such this tumultuous storyline throughout the entirety of the bracket, nonstop, being just a card or 2 away. And it was the same in the grand finale, but it was Corey and Elizabeth at the end of the day that walk away with the lion's share of the cash. And those are the 2 players that are walking their way to the November grand finale at the end of the year.
Ooh, what an exciting end. Corey is not someone I ever want to play Uno Mobile against, Gojj, but very fun to watch in action.
Well, let's take a look at the pricing. I already recapped it for you, but we got a beautiful graphic for you right here, right now. Corey, $3,000 and 10,000 diamonds, might I add, with the first place finish. Elizabeth right behind, second place, and those really cool banners as well. $1,000, 5,000 diamonds, and then Lumps and Allie, so close, just not quite there, but still $500 richer and some diamonds to write home about, and of course the clout of having those banners. So shout out to all of our winners today and all of our players for just competing. It is a massive feat to be able to walk into the finale of any of our Community Cup qualifiers. It is so hard to qualify at the end of the day. There's so many players that want to be in your shoes. So whether you made money today or not, even the fact that you made it to this bracket is a huge, huge feat. Well, folks, if you're wondering, can I be the next Corey? The answer is yes. We have a full year of Uno Mobile Esports, and to get involved, all you have to do, type in !download. Go download Uno Mobile on all of different Play Stores, Google Play Store, iOS Store, whatever device you've got. You can play Uno Mobile for free right now, anywhere, anytime. Go check it out. If you haven't and you're just hanging out in the live stream, go get some games in. I'm sure you're going to love it. And make sure you go follow them on all of their major socials. Of course, they've got live streams going on all the time. They've got giveaways. But they also have some really cool Uno Mobile news across the board. Whether it's the Wild Ears collection that you've got to earn or the Wild Waves collection coming in next month, there's always cool stuff to learn about. And of course, the Discord as well. We got to shout out our Discord friends. We got a lot of the Discord community hanging out with us. !Discord. We'll pull up that command. You can check out all of those links in the description as well if you're not watching this live. Thanks for tuning in. Man, Katie, what a fun day. So much to talk about. And we've got to reward our people at home. Everybody that was tuning in today, here's another giveaway. One more for you. The code is 4WARDIS5. 4WARDIS5. I'm spelling it out phonetically here, so you type it in correctly. 4WARDIS5. Of course, the 4 and the 5 are numbers. Go to your account, click that cogwheel, go click the redeem button, and type in 4WARDIS5. This is our last giveaway of the day, and it's a doozy. Got a ton of rewards coming your way. 1,000 diamonds, shields, golden scratch ticket. Go get your hands on it, and thank you for tuning into the broadcast. Woo! What a day, Katie. That was nuts. And I think it's time to, Katie, let's do some trivia to finish off the day today. I love our trivia. What answer? Give me your answer. How many times a day can you play the Lucky Ball Machine? Are you a master of Uno Mobile? Do you know the answer to this? Is it A, 4, B, 6, C, 3, or D, 5? Type it in right now. Finish off the day well. Get your answers right. Get your rewards. Our mods have got the codes. And it's not C or D, and it's not A, it's B, it's 6. 6 times you can play the Lucky Ball Machine in Uno Mobile. So go check it out. Go play the Lucky Ball Machine And also make sure you're on Uno Mobile to redeem those rewards. It's the only way to redeem it is actually in-app. Wow. A lot of stuff today, Katie, from giveaways to games to nail-biting performances. Give me your final thoughts before I bid you farewell.
Look, we had a fantastic day. We saw things go the distance to round 9 in groups, to crazy comebacks at Elizabeth, to the dominance from Corey. So it was a ton of fun. It was a privilege to be here. And I am continually very impressed with the level of skill from these Uno Mobile competitors.
Well, Katie, I could have said it better myself. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in the booth today. You did fantastic. We look forward to seeing you into the future. But until next time, we'll see you then. Folks at home, usually we grab a winner's interview. Unfortunately, Corey isn't able to do so, so he'll not be joining us in the booth. But if you want to learn more about Uno Mobile and you want to be the next Corey, again, you got to join the Discord and you got to get plugged in. Of course, playing the game. All of our qualifiers, I've said this a couple times, but I want to be very clear. All of our qualifiers for these monthly finals are in-app. All you have to do is open up the game. Now, I've been talking about collections all day. The Wild Ears collection to celebrate April has been really cool to talk about it. Of course, been wearing the bunny ears all day. You have to earn that in game, and you're running out of time to do so. We've got the Wild Waves collection coming up next month. But the store, it's crazy in the store. There's all kinds of collections in the store, different things you can buy. And one of those is a very good friend of mine, Lily Pichu's special voice pack, avatar frame, and emoji pack. You can go buy that right now. It's running out of time. You're running out of time. It's going to not be in the store for very much longer. She was the winner of our All-Stars event last year, and she created this special for you all at home. So go check it out. Go spend some money in the store and boost your Uno Mobile experience with a Lily Pichu behind the scenes. Man, what a day. I keep saying that because I really feel like April has been one of the more chaotic and probably the closest competition we've seen. I feel like every single month the competition gets better and better. And speaking of next month, by the way, I think it's going to get even better. Next month's competition, it's right around the corner. May 19th will be the live stream, but the qualifiers are happening in-game from May 1st all the way into the latter half of that week. We've got 7 days of qualifiers. You got to go through each of the stages. So it'll span 9 days. You have 7 different days that you can try to qualify. So it's the beginning of May. Starts May 1st, and our live finals will be here on all of our streaming platforms, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and now Twitch, by the way. Uno Mobile Esports on Twitch. Go check them out. We're going to be here live next month, same time, same place. And, well, I think that's all I've got today, folks. Before I bid you farewell, look, I have to say thank you for welcoming me with open arms. I have so much fun in the booth as the host of this show. And again, I want to remind everybody about the rest of the year. So many more competitions coming down the line. We've got a show in May and, of course, the entire latter half of the year ahead of us. So stay tuned for all of that. We'll show you a video to end off the show. But folks, thank you for tuning into the live stream. We love these competitions with Uno Mobile, and this is really just the beginning of Uno Mobile Esports. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next month. Uno Mobile Esports is here in 2023, and each month we are hosting a series of in-game competitions leading up to the monthly live finals in February, March, April, May, July, August, September, and October. The top 2 players from each of our live monthly finals will not only walk away with some cold hard cash, but also earn a spot in our yearly grand finals in November. You won't want to miss this intense competition, so get involved now in-app and enjoy some unpredictable fun.